I'd sort of seen that Jordan one, but I didn't.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We went live because we were already doing the show before. We're talking, we're going, stuff like that. But this is the gimmick. Your monthly, sometimes bi-weekly, kind of depends on the layout of the schedule for a wrestling show here at Geek First. I'm the Canadian Nightmare, and I'm joined by, say his name and he will appear, David.
What's up, everybody? You see the tag?
Mhm.
It's the phenomenon taking over the world.
The most
I
overman on the
believe.
internet. Yeah, it's just I'm gonna ask this next man, baby. Oh God, it's still babyface priest number one.
I changed it back again. Last week or last time I was Mr. NXT NA, but now I have to go back to
Oh
my
God,
boy, my dog.
you should enjoy it. You only got 2 more weeks and that title reign's over. But I swear, if we're doing a SummerSlam post show and Damian Priest is somehow beat Gunther, you're gonna like. Like I am a big Gunther fan, however you say, because I feel like commentary changes their mind every once in a while. But like, I think it's right for him to get the win, and it's just that. Oh my God, I don't.
Now I want Priest to win, just how now I wanted Drew to lose.
Because yeah, we'll talk about that because I feel like Money in the Bank we were 50-50 where we got some stuff very right, but then there's some stuff now going forward. It's like, okay, this is curious. So yeah, today we're gonna talk about a whole bunch of stuff. We're talking about SummerSlam and All In predictions. So the next time we do a show will be after SummerSlam and then after around All In. So those are kind of your next two. But yeah, SummerSlam, the hopeful plan is the Sunday or Monday after us three. We'll get together and find out what works. But yeah, we'll Saturday night watch and then get there. So we're gonna do predictions for those two shows. We're gonna talk about Joe Hendry, like Dave talked about, just taking over the wrestling web. How long can it last? How long is it going to be NXT? Is TNA going to be fucking stupid and not put the title on him? I don't know. We'll talk about that. We got some Japan match to talk about. We're going to talk about everything WWE and related, like MJF versus Ospreay for some reason, which has become a hot button issue in the wrestling community. I sometimes just don't, that's where I feel like an old man, where I just feel like these guys are just wrestling a match. Why? We'll get there and a lot more other stuff. So, yeah, let's get into SummerSlam. And I wanted to start with, I guess, the main event, but we don't know. It's gonna, but like Cody and Solo's gonna main, right? That's what's gonna happen. There's no
Yeah.
other. I don't know. I get it. I'm a Cody stan. I got the nickname. I just feel that I guess it's tough because are we all in the camp that is Roman coming back 100%?
I think so. It's like a stadium show.
Right.
Like if there's any place he's gonna show up, it's that. And even then, if he shows up there, it's not like he has to be on TV every week, I guess.
Yeah.
But he's definitely gonna show up again there.
Can you imagine if he shows up and they do the whole like powerbomb table thing, like they just kill him first night and then which wouldn't be terrible if he was going away again and then he's like in the behind the scenes recruiting the rest of the bloodline. But David, is Roman coming back? Because I feel like everyone on my Twitter timeline in the wrestling community, it's just like fact. And I've seen nobody. I've seen not PW Insider. I've not seen Sean Ross Sapp. I've not seen Meltzer, which maybe if
I,
Meltzer
th- I
did.
think I think Meltzer said like he's coming back around SummerSlam
Okay, so it's
time,
not
which
happening
is like
then. If
very
Meltzer
vague.
reported it, they're
But I
feeding
think
him
that
bad
the way he
rumors
said
again.
it was like he was gonna show up like before SummerSlam to like tease a match. I mean, like Meltzer way of saying like, yeah, it's showing just like how LA Knight versus Logan Paul was happening at
Right.
Clash of the Castle, and then no, it's happening at Money in the Bank, and now it's happening at SummerSlam.
Doing a number on Mr. Meltzer. But
I
yeah,
I
David.
think
Yeah.
I think he's gonna show up, but I don't think it's gonna be anything too physical. Um, I have a feeling that we're gonna get two things at SummerSlam. I think that we are going to get some bloodline interference in a new bloodline
No.
member.
The first one's like a given.
Hikuleo.
You may as well put that on a free, like if you're doing a SummerSlam bingo card, the
It's
free
the free
space should be
space.
bloodline interference.
So we're gonna get that, which is going to involve a new member, but I do think that Solo is going to lose the match, even with all the involvement, either by disqualification because of the involvement or something else. It's going to cause him to lose the match. And then you are going to see Roman appear at the end. I don't think it's going to be anything physical, but it's going to be I'm back now to set up the future. Who's the head of the table?
The stare down. They did that when
Yeah.
Cena came back, right? Like everyone was expecting Cena to like at least AA Roman, and then it just went off the air with them just staring at each other. So
Do you
I
think Roman comes back with Heyman like there?
I've been thinking about that, and I don't know. I'm like 50-50 on it because I feel like if he's back with Heyman, then I feel like Roman should be around a little bit longer. But I don't know if they want to sell Paul being really dead. I don't know. I'm
Now,
literally in this middle.
you could do the CM Punk John Cena and just have Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa both with their own Ulafalas, like trying to one up each other.
God, I don't want to go off the air with them. Cody's won the WWE Championship, and then they're holding the fucking just like that's bigger.
Cody's in the middle, like holding them both back.
Yeah.
Or
That's
the Roman
poster.
Brock, and they're having a tug of war with it.
Oh, not the tug of war. That's the worst go home show ever with that. Yeah, I think obviously Cody wins. I know some people have said like they gotta get him to chase again. I don't think we need to do. I don't need him to chase Solo. Like I think the clear trajectory is Solo moves on with Bloodline stuff, and then Cody should go to Randy because I still don't think Randy and Cody's gonna happen at Mania. So I feel like that's a good Survivor Series type of fallish feud. Like they'll get a couple pay-per-views. Maybe Cody does one more like random. Like who's a random? Maybe you have like Carmelo Hayes earn a shot and they don't main event a pay-per-view, which we talked about on the Money Bank preview show. Don't know why they ended up doing that stupid 6-man tag as main event. I don't get it. I just feel like the women's Money Bank could have won last. I still was fine with the men's triple threat, or I guess it became the triple threat with the Money in the Bank going on last, everything like that. So they just did that to, okay, Solo's a big deal, cool. He gets the main event 2 pay-per-views in a row. I guess the reason I'm bringing this up is because if it's not for Roman, I feel like it still wouldn't happen because Cody's like the guy, but I still feel like Liv and Rhea should be main event this show. Like I feel like they got the hottest angle. Where with Solo and Cody, I don't think it's like dead or anything like that. I do understand people's frustration with like the last 4 SmackDowns ending with like someone going to the table and the Bloodline stand up, but you kind of have to do that if Roman's coming back, right? You can't.
Someone put like people are annoyed at this. I have to find the tweet, but someone wrote down like the Roman Reigns formula for go home shows. It was like don't be there the whole time. Show up the last week just to like roast someone, and then like barely escape a finisher.
Yeah.
And then like win by cheating at the show, and then next week show up and say like, oh, I wasn't scared at all.
In my house, yeah. And it's funny you said that because I saw some tweet too where it's like, oh, 7 weeks in a row, and it's just like Triple H giving the thumbs up or something like that. But for me, it's like that's what the Roman Reigns Bloodline thing was. But the reason people didn't get tired of it is because he went away for a while. That's the thing. Like if he would have been there all the time, it would have been this. So I'm still fine with it because they got to make Solo. I don't know. First, people complain Solo's a bitch and he's not strong enough, and now it's like, well, now it's just the same thing. It's like I think you have to do that so when Roman and his bloodline gets there, they do seem at least imposing. And I don't know what they're gonna do with Hikuleo. What were they gonna call him again?
Tala Tonga.
Tala. Yeah, but that is his name, right? I think
It's
Tala
his middle name, but it's
Okay.
spelled like the trainer like Tala, like Talla.
Yeah.
But his actual middle name is like Taula.
Oh, it's a Batista thing. The
It's
WWE
same
drops
with,
the Y
because they technically
the U.
changed who is a Tongaloa's name, because I think his actual name it's like Tanga, and they just changed it without mentioning it at all to Tonga.
Yeah.
Also, like with what you were saying, like Cody, like a filler feud. I actually think they won't do that because once you have LA Knight win the title, you can have like
Right.
SmackDown like US title like main events.
Yeah. So then, do you think
And
he just goes?
you'll have like Carmel Hayes and Andrade for like the US title.
So then they just go
SmackDown.
right into Randy then after this? Randy
I
comes
don't
back,
know
he didn't
what
protect
you-
me, yada yada yada.
You'll I don't know. I think you'll definitely get Randy like before the end of this year, I think.
Because like if
Like-
not, because what's the next pay per view after SummerSlam? It's Clash of the whatever,
Bash
right?
in Berlin, yeah.
Bash,
Bash in
Clash,
Berlin,
Bash. Why are they naming all these the international pay? So that one's gonna be Gunther maybe.
They,
That's
the
what,
alliterations.
yeah, that's true. So I
That's
just feel
why-
like
that's why Gunther's losing at SummerSlam just to
Don't-
win it in Berlin.
don't put that evil on me. Oh, good. Cody's got new shirts. I just got bombarded with an ad on the WWE page.
Yeah, it's Bash in Berlin, Bad Blood,
That's the
Crown
Cody Randy
Jewel.
match, right? Like that's the oh god,
I
Crown
feel like
Jewel.
you could have like Liv Rhea main event, because I don't think you
Bad
speed up
Blood.
to like a Hell in a Cell like that quickly with Cody Randy.
Yeah, even though, like I said, we joked about in our Discord, I want them to recreate the Shawn Michaels Triple H 45-hour match.
That'll be Liv and Rhea.
Yeah, no, that's a good thing because yeah, like we'll talk
You
Liv
can
and Rhea
have
in a
the main
second.
event
But
like Hell in a Cell, Bad Blood. I think that's a good three, because I think we'll talk about it later, but I think Rhea's definitely losing at
yeah,
SummerSlam.
absolutely.
So you could
Yeah,
have a second bash in Berlin, or like a tag match. Put Jey Uso in there.
yeah,
And
that's
then
where you do
have
the mix.
Then you have
Yeah,
a Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood main event.
I pretty much agree with
And
everything
yeah,
there, except I don't think they're gonna canonly put Jay and Rhea together. I know I don't think we're gonna get them as a couple. I think that they will eventually make Rhea just be by herself because I don't know if they want to put her with another guy. And I don't see the long term effects, but maybe maybe there's one kiss. Maybe it's like a Trish and Rock situation where they kiss once and Dom's all he's getting mad and he's losing his stuff and everything. But I agree. If you were to tell me, if Triple H sat me down and said, "Hey, we're gonna have Liv and Rhea main event Bad Blood," I'd feel better about it, especially if Roman's coming back. But like I said, if Roman doesn't come back and they just do Solo and Cody, I do think the show ends with kind of like a fart cloud. Like if nothing big happens, just like
Jimmy Uso's music.
yeah, right. And I feel like that will be like you kill Jimmy. It's like when Ray came on the 30 slot and everyone thought it was gonna be Daniel Bryan. Like Jimmy's gonna be DOA if that happens. So I think if Roman doesn't come back, then it should have been Liv and Rhea. So I'll withhold till the review show because I don't think Gunther and Priest. I think Priest. I don't see the juice there. I know they're doing this whole you're a street rat gimmick thing now, and I don't know.
Do you think like the Judgment Day turns on Damien like at SummerSlam?
I don't know.
Because
'cause I've
even
thought
the
that full
thing
times.
that this week was like when he beat Braun Strowman like clean.
Yeah.
Like after he pinned him, he was like looking around, like smiling, like, oh, like they didn't come out like I didn't even. I did it myself.
Is Braun a babyface right now?
Yeah.
So why is Gunther trying to get this guy over as a heel? Number one baby priest fan over here. Like why? Like he's trying to get him over as a baby face.
Trying to like
Street trash, and then why did he beat a babyface giant? Why didn't they send almost out there?
Braun was just like showing up, like he was just messing with the Judgment Day for like 2 months
guess.
now, and like all of them lost to him. So then and Damien would like. He would just tell the other ones, like, you guys deal with Braun Strowman this week, and they would just always lose.
That's true.
So now he does it he fights Braun one time and beats him clean, so it's like, oh, like, why do I even need these guys who just, like, lose to Braun Strowman every week?
What about you, David? What do you think? We'll talk about the world title match right now. And that's what I was going to ask, too. I'm interested in what they do, because if they don't get anything better, I just feel like they should have just put Braun back in the Wyatt Six, because like he's just like, other than chasing Judgment Day, I don't really know what the next, like I know what the next step is. He's gonna get like some tag team partner, and it's gonna be like him and who was he with a couple years ago?
Join the Alpha Academy.
Yeah.
He was with Ricochet.
Ricochet, right? They're gonna find some high flyer and put him there. But Dave, how do you see the World Heavyweight title going? Is Damian Priest gonna do one of the biggest upsets in SummerSlam history and beat the King General?
I think Damien will retain.
Oh my god!
I do think that they will set up for a rematch where Gunther will take it at Bash in Berlin. I would think they will give him the win at Bash in Berlin rather than walking in with the title.
Oh, so how do you get from, because then if that's the case, Judgment Day doesn't turn on Damien at SummerSlam, right? If Damien's winning, that wouldn't make sense for him to win, and then I guess they pull up the Evolution where they hoist him up and JD gives the thumbs down. Like my thing is, like, how do you get Gunther to Bash with another title match? That's what I'm curious about, if he loses here.
Well, the way that Damien did with Seth, where he was like, hey, we had a gentleman's agreement, but I'm still going to give you a championship. Like, if you're building babyface Priest, then if
even though they interfered, I'm going to give you another shot.
Yes, if it depends on an interference or disqualification, and Gunther's like, hey, I had you, I had you, then babyface Priest goes, and gives him another title shot.
They're gonna rename him. It's gonna be like Seth freaking Rollins. He's not even gonna be Damian Priest. He's gonna be Babyface Priest on this show now. Like that's what he is. But then shouldn't Seth get the next shot because he promised. He's like, after SummerSlam, like, yeah, I'll give you another match.
Raw after SummerSlam.
You could do a triple threat.
Oh no, I don't know. I don't like any of this. I like Gunther beating him, and the the Bash defense is just like we're just celebrating him, and I don't even know who they're like. Okay,
Who Gunther would face?
if Gunther did, let's say it happens where Priest gets turned on in Judgment Day, and they don't go that route. Maybe it's Rhea and Priest if it's not Rhea and Jay. If they don't do that, who would you have Gunther defend against at Bash? If they're saying, "Hey, Damien's gonna do Judgment Day stuff, he's off limits," who do you? Is it? I would say is it Seth, but Seth, like, I don't think you want him to lose. Well, I guess he didn't really technically lose. Technically, this man should be the world champion after the non-kick out. But like, who would you put up there at Bash?
Who else is like on there?
And I guess it could be a babyface or a heel,
Like,
right? Because he's gonna be
you
the
could put, like,
babyface.
I mean, you feel like
Sheamus?
Sheamus again.
Yeah. Oh, right. No, he said no more because he's lost 4 times in a row. Or
Oh, no,
whatever it is, right?
but wasn't Sheamus? I mean, Sheamus was for like. Oh yeah, right. No, yeah, just in general, right? He's not gonna fight him again.
That's what he said on
Was it
Twitter.
for like the Intercontinental one? Because it's
Yeah.
like, well, now it's for like the World Championship.
Yeah, I do think the next time Sheamus faces him, he has to like beat him. But I don't know if that's actually ever gonna happen. To be honest, I think like he's gonna go like he's gonna be Tommy Dreamer and Raven. It's gonna be a winless record, and maybe heel versus Ludwig. Do we have any time frame on Ludwig? Like, I don't think they've said.
I think when he got injured, it was like I think it was like broken ribs or something like that.
Oh, damn.
But I think they said it was like 6 weeks or something like that. And he's
Okay.
already been. I forget where. I swear somewhere they were like teasing he was coming back or something. So he'll probably be back like after SummerSlam. Probably like Road to Bash in Berlin.
I could see that being like a singles match there or something like
Oh,
that.
that's where I saw because they had advertised dark match for like the SmackDown in Berlin was like Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser versus Sami Zayn and Ilya Dragunov.
Okay.
So he's back before then if they have him advertised already for.
Oh man, do you pull the Dragunov trigger for Bash and just give them like it's because that show's gonna already be like that's where I could see show could probably be sold out on Gunther. He's the champ. You just give them like a 5-star great main roster classic. I doubt they would, but I would be completely fine with that. And you get Dragunov like inches away from beating him for the title, and then Gunther pulls it out. I'd be fine Dragunov for Bash.
Gunther
Yeah.
can do good like 2.99 kickouts.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
I mean, if they hadn't put the New Day in this crappy thing with the Final Testament, then having Kofi be his first challenger would have been a good, solid pick at somebody who's believable. But once Gunther wins, it wouldn't be a squash; it'd be a believable challenger. You could get something out of that, but yeah, now they've thrown them into this horrible feud, and
They're just stuck
So
there for
When you
eternity.
started talking about that, I thought you were gonna say Karrion Kross versus Gunther. And I was like, what's he doing here?
the less Final Testament, the better.
We'll do that in a title versus career match, and if Karrion Kross loses, and then he just does the whole thing where he like leaves his boots in the ring and he's like kissing the crowd while Berlin's just booing the hell out of him. That'd be a good gimmick. I want to see a heel do that one. I guess Lita kind of did that back in the day where she lost a career match and they booed her, but I'd love to have someone like overplay it. Now listen, this fucking Jericho's gonna be the one that does it, and he's gonna do the whole like, oh, I
I
gave
mean,
up.
isn't that what like Cody did in AEW? Like he lost
did.
one time to Malachi Black.
over.
He left his boots in the ring.
And everyone's like, dude, you're 36. You're not giving it up right now.
That's in the like the Arn Anderson Glock promo. That's what he's talking
It
about.
is, yeah. And that's where I don't think they've ever said whose decision that was. If it was Tony versus Cody, that was one. If you looked at like the 5 stages of starting at people to boo Cody, that was one of the moments where everyone's like, okay, this is a bit too much. We're not this. This is not happening right now.
What are you doing, guy? Like, you're taking this way too seriously.
Yeah, it's one loss to Malachi Black. And like I can't even remember if he did it in like a shady way because Malachi Black's always up to something, and then Malachi just kicked him, and like they made him look like such a chump, but you know, he's world champ now. So okay, so you guys are starting to convince me, but I'm just for sanity just gonna predict Gunther. I'm gonna hope that it happens. SummerSlam, big stage. I get your guys' pitch of do it on the bigger one. I just don't want Gunther to eat a pin to Priest. I just don't think Priest. I just still don't think it's working, and I don't feel anything for the whole him not kicking out. That stuff happens. It sucks, but like some people have been. I agree, it's really way too harsh. Like if the guy got his bell rung or he just missed a count, yeah, it does suck. I'm sure he kicked himself the ass for it, but like that's not a thing. I think maybe he will flourish when he does the Judgment Day stuff. I just think as champ, so I'm going to hope that it's Gunther, he beats him, and they give him a worthy competitor bash. So I'm saying Gunther. But you guys are both Priest for your official picks?
Yep.
Yeah.
God, I don't like that. All right, so we touched upon this one already, and we'll jump over to Cuz Judgment Day. So Rhea and Liv. So David, I'll go to you because me and S-Bubs have kind of said, yeah, we're in the camp where we think Liv is pulling out. Are you saying there? Is the same thing there?
Liv is pulling out. This is going to be the official separation of Rhea from the Judgment Day.
Mm-hmm. So is Dirty Dom? Does he make the final testament? Does he decide to turn on her?
I don't think it's going to be Dom that's going to be the deciding factor. I think Dom is going to still play that I don't know what to do role, and I think JD or Finn is going to be what gets Liv the win. It's going to be a definitive she's now in our camp because they've been hinting at the extraness with Liv and Finn. Yeah. So now's the time to pull that up. All right, if you're not going to be man enough, Dom, to do this, well, I got somebody else who's going to be man enough. You're not the only one whose strings I've been pulling. And then that's when they have Finn do it to officially pull her in.
But is Dom out then too? Is he gone?
I don't think he's out. I just think he continues to play the confused. I don't know what to do.
Dom is definitely going to do the chair in the middle thing again because that'd be the third time.
Yes.
That's
and we don't know who he's throwing it to.
Yeah, because he did to Becky and Liv, and then he did Zelina and Liv, and now he's definitely going to do the same thing here.
Yeah, I think we'll talk about the Punk and Drew thing after, but I don't know if they'll do in the future. To me, the guest referee spot should have went to this match. I don't know how you don't have Dom as the guest referee. That is like, I guess if you don't want to make the hard turn yet, but I'm saying in the future, whenever he decides whether he's Team Liv or Team Rhea, they got to do the guest referee, and he's got to make the decision there. Because I agree with Finn taking over, but the only thing is as well too. Then I feel like so they kick out Rhea, and you're telling me they're not going to turn Priest the same night, like back to the other match. Like I feel like that'd be weird. Like I feel like if that happens, Priest will not be in the right mindset. Like it would just feel odd for me to him go and then and then he beats Gunther and like he's still good. Like I feel like if those turns happen, I feel like that puts Priest, unless Priest and Gunther is like earlier in the night, maybe it's like the opener or something.
Well, that does play into my prediction of Priest retaining. So he can retain off of a disqualification. So maybe they do turn on Rhea and then they come back and, hey, Priest, you're out too. And that has him retain off of a disqualification. So he still gets it. And we have some Judgment Day shenanigans. I mean, it's not going on last, so they'll probably be pretty close with the matches. So we have time to do those shenanigans and still not send the crowd home too pissed.
Yeah.
I think you could open with like LA Knight and Logan Paul.
As long as LA Knight's winning, in my opinion. I know Logan Paul has won at SummerSlam before because I think him and Ricochet opened last year, right?
Too,
yeah. So which was a good match. So yeah, I could see that, but we'll get there because that's time. So I agree, Rhea's gonna lose, but I'm gonna go for the hard prediction. I think Dom's gonna make the hard choice, even if it's all of them. But I think they're gonna show that Dom's firmly in Liv's camp because whether it's at Bash or somewhere, as I've said, the money is in Rhea Ripley beating the hell out of Dom. I don't want them to have Dom too confused in the future. I don't want him to be like, he's just being pulled along. Like I want him to make the choice and go with Liv. And then, like we've said before, they'll probably do a mixed tag. I still think the money would be in. I just want them to do Rhea and Dom and just do like Cena, Brock, SummerSlam. Rhea just squashes him for 5 minutes, and Dom can survive it. Dom could literally the next week become world champion and everyone would still hate him and love him. Like, he's completely fine, but that's what I'm saying. Just for the heat, I think Dom is going to fully turn, but I bet. Oh no, I'm walking it back now because I think S-Bubs is right with the chair. And what has been Triple H's biggest criticism for people is like, no, he's doing too long-term booking, which I don't agree with it with everything. But some people are like, oh, he's taking too long with this, and he won't do stuff on the B shows. So, but I actually agree with S-Bubs that yeah, I'll walk it back. But I think within the next 3 months, that hard turn is coming. Maybe they'll do it on a Raw and they'll pop like a rating there. But yeah, they'll do the chair. Liv will win, and Dom will be like, I don't know, like I thought it was going well, and it's still up in air. But that Dom term has to come because, like I said, that's the money. Even if it is Dom and Liv versus Rhea and Jay, like that's a solid, almost mid-main event match with what's going on.
Yep.
What do you guys think about the U.S. title? Is Paul's run done here?
I think so.
After last night's promo, you got to make the switch. Like, the way that he kept bringing up the fact that LA Knight has no major championships, he kept bringing up a lot of things.
No defining moments.
You've got to make the switch at that point. And I thought, like, Logan Paul was spitting some venom on him. They both went back and forth. My only thing with that promo is I don't like the way Logan talks in his promos. He sounds like a comic book villain with his vocal inflections and everything else. Like, it's a little bit too over the top sometimes. I'm like, guy, just talk normal. It's okay. But yeah, he was really getting into LA Knight. So you have to have LA Knight come out of this, or else you have squandered the last good chance at a run that LA Knight's going to have. Every time he's hot, you guys don't pull the trigger. You got to pull it now.
I feel like that Logan Paul promo, people are posting like, oh, like you call him a knockoff version of The Rock. And I was thinking like, didn't someone else like literally say this exact same thing? And yeah, it was Roman. He was like, you're just a knockoff version of my cousin. And I don't know why people are posting like, oh, Logan got him with that one. Like, people have literally said that exact same line to him in promos before, but I just thought that was funny because I remember, like, I swear someone else said, like, this exact same line.
He got called. Someone had made that reference back when he was with NWA and he was cutting promos, and someone called him the bastard child of Ric Flair and The Rock. Like, that comparison has been made forever, so that wasn't anything new. I think the big things was Logan straight up pointing out, like, you've done nothing of substance. Like, yeah, crowd loves you, people love you, but you have done nothing of substance to back it up.
He's like, $1 million champion in NXT.
Yeah. Oh, the $1 million. If he loses,
he technically I think he's like one of 4 people that ever officially hold the $1 million title.
I think it's Ted. It's Ted Senior, Virgil, and then a Ted Junior, and then him. I think, right? And,
no, Austin had it.
Right,
yeah,
Austin
the ringmaster, and what's the name? Cameron Grimes also has it.
Did he win it? Did he win it? From
I think he won it from LA Knight. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because LA Knight, he hit Ted DiBiase. Like, Ted DiBiase took a bump for LA Knight in NXT.
Yeah, I remember they did the ladder match for it, and yeah, that was such a random, like, let's bring this back. But
it's still officially recognized technically.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. If he loses, maybe he'll bring that. He'll just be like, oh, I'm gonna be $1 million champion now. But yeah, he kind of has to win. I've said this before, where it was odd because I feel like Logan Paul, who's like done good work, he announced that he was going to be more active, and I feel like he's been the same amount active. Maybe he's done a few more dates, but just hasn't felt like, oh, he's a big step up to he's here a lot. So it's very similar to the Roman thing, where he comes in, someone says something, or beats him up like in the chamber, or something, like gets a win, eliminates him, and then he gets mad, his ego, they have a match, and then usually Logan wins and moves on to the next one. It's just kind of the same rinse and repeat. At least with the Roman stuff, like near the end, there's still great story. There's not much there, and like his promo stuff's fine. Like I guess I'm just not. I think for me the novelty of Logan Paul's worn off. Even though when he's in the ring, it's still very good. Even though like he gets all the training and everything like that, so it's still tough. But it's not like I think for the first year it's like, okay, let's see how he could do. And the second year, it's like, oh, he's really good. He's put on some good matches. And now the third year, it's like, hey, I need something a bit more. And I think the LA Knight feud has been fun. I like when LA Knight went to his pool and stuff. Like I like when LA Knight I like that he's the home invader superstar on the roster. And I like AJ. That's like, I like that he's taken the Austin role that way of just, and that wasn't, he didn't even attack him. I like that he's just a dick. So I've enjoyed this so far, but it's not like a must see, like, oh, I can't wait. Even the promo battle, like I've watched it. I didn't watch the whole show, but I watched that, and like it was good. I liked it, but I didn't. It wasn't like a couple weeks ago when we had like the Monet Brit one where I was like, okay, like this is a big match too, and then it's like, okay, actually I'm in. Where this was like solid, this was good. So, and I don't know what you do with Logan next, really, you know, because I feel like they did the world title thing with Cody and lost that. I could see them running back him and LA Knight, but I really don't know what could be like. I could see them do.
Wins the world title next, he'll fight them at Crown Jewel or King and Queen of
So we're gonna get
Saudi
Gunther.
show.
We're gonna get Gunther and Logan Paul. Oh my
that's
god!
Logan Paul saying he gets the world title shots on the Saudi shows.
Hell, you know what? I'd be fine if you get Gunther, if Gunther and Champ do Gunther and him at Bash and have that as like just Logan, because Logan did
like
say
an all submissions match against Logan Paul. Like,
Yeah.
he just constantly puts in like every submission.
Yeah, because Logan did say, and I think it's going to happen, when he had Triple H's podcast last, he wanted to be on Raw when they moved to Netflix. And I do feel, well, actually, I answer my own question. I don't know when it's
that's like January through WrestleMania is like brand split, like we don't care anymore.
Yes.
Like...
And I think that, I hope it's not the Mania match, but because I guess we should talk about Cena. Maybe we'll talk about Cena here because
also, I have something else on Logan Paul. I feel
go ahead.
like when you're doing like the part-timer thing, like with Roman, like he had the main championship, so it's like it's not getting defended like anyway that many like maybe skipping a show, but like
you got a bunch
even
of
if
people
he was
earn it.
there,
Yes.
even if he was there, there'd still be like the same amount of defenses. With Logan Paul, it's like he's doing the part-timer thing with like the mid-card title,
the workers
like,
title.
If he didn't have, it's like in the same time that that he had, like how many times did like the Intercontinental title get defended since like since Logan Paul won the U.S. title, like how many Intercontinental defenses have there been compared to the U.S. one? Like there's probably been like 10, 15, and there's been like 2 U.S. title defenses.
Yeah.
So
no, that's a good
that's
point.
like the issue with it.
Yeah, I think it was good for like a little bit, but I think LA Knight, you got to give him something because I think it's like if he doesn't get it here, it's like David said, it's now he's just kind of now you'd have to like heel turn him. That's then you'd have to go, and you don't want to do that. He's still over with the crowd, and I feel like Logan,
like Joe Hendry not winning the TNA championship.
Yes, like it's just kind of like it's a no duh. LA will be there more, and I feel like Logan goes to Raw, and we'll talk about this now because at Money in the Bank, John Cena announced that he's going to retire, which at first he made it sound like it was that night, which we all knew not, but then it's going to be, well, to WrestleMania. It's like, well, actually, no, I'm like working the almost whole year there. Obviously, I think he said 40 to 50 dates, which is a lot. So I think at some point we're for sure getting Logan and Cena, and I think Logan's expressing that he wants to be on Netflix or Raw, because that's what you're right. They do just switch over, but I could see Logan really want to be like, no, like I want to be there all the time. Of course, so he's going to be like, yeah, you're the guy. Like maybe he does like a 2-match series with LA Knight, and they just in storyline make him go like, oh F this, like I don't want to be here anymore.
Like Logan, because you want to have Cena win on his last WrestleMania, I think.
I don't want Logan. I know what you're pitching. I don't want it, but I think they might do it.
Like stare down at the Rumble. Like you have Logan.
Oh god, he eliminates him, and then Logan does the
Rumble.
same thing every year where he gets mad, someone eliminates, and then beats him up.
You do the Seth repeat. You have him throw him out the Rumble, then he runs into the chamber, brass knuckles Cena.
Well, they did that twice. They did that with Seth and Randy. They've done it. They've done the exact same, and they're probably gonna do it a third time where Cena's about to win his 17th championship, and then Logan hits him, and then we're like, oh no, and then Michael Cole, Logan Paul, that bastard, or he should have been. But I think that would be
because they've already done that with Jon Stewart. You can't do it again.
You don't think they can do it again?
You didn't do it again. You shouldn't do it again because you already did it with Jon Stewart, and that didn't make any sense.
Has a match at at first Raw on Netflix. You could do Logan Paul do something like I want to bring all the views to Netflix. Like I have the most viewers, so like someone come out here, or the other way around, where like Cena's like someone come out here, and Logan Paul's like I'm gonna bring all the viewers to Netflix. So let's have a match tonight.
I think they'd have to do it in advance. I would love them to run back. I don't think you've probably heard of this lore at all, I suppose. When Miz was starting to become like a singles guy before when Money in the Bank everything, he did this thing where Cena was kayfabe injured, and Miz kept calling him out. And every week when Cena didn't come out, he'd be like, "Oh, that's another like win for the Miz," and he was like 5-0 on John Cena. And then finally got the pay-per-view, and John Cena did show up, and then Cena just fucking squashed him. Like, just like, and everyone thought this was going to be Miz's moment to break out. No, Cena just was like, looked like Cena was mad.
Super
Like,
Cena.
it was Super Cena. So that's what not that I want Logan Paul to get squashed, but I would love for the weeks leading up to Netflix if Logan Paul kept calling him out, and then that music hits. Even if they announce the match is going to happen, you're like, oh, they play it up like, will Cena be there? Something like that. I actually think Logan Paul, they'll probably do it on like a Saudi show or like a pay-per-view, but Logan versus Cena for Netflix, I'm completely fine with that. I'm still fine with that match. I just think for Cena's last Mania, I do want it to be someone more of note or career. Like, I'm still not in the Randy camp. I don't necessarily love that either because me and David lived through 80 matches a week of those two, and they really thought they were the Rock and Austin of their like generation, and they were, but not in the same like chemistry route. Like I remember one time, I think it was like 2010. It was a Rumble spot, and they did the whole thing where everyone's down, they stared, and the crowd just like dead. And it's like there's no, it's
No one cared.
Yeah, no, it was not the. It's weird because they should have been, but ended up being Cena and Punk ended up becoming the Rock and Austin of their generation. But they really want Randy and Cena, so I'm down for Cena and Randy. But at WrestleMania, I don't know. I still need to hear. Do we have The Rock or what the deal is? I'm still in the camp that I'd actually do. It's tough because I think Rock wants to do Cody, but I'm fine
I
if
mean,
you do
now
Rock.
the rumored Survivor Series is like L.A. the location.
Oh, I
So
think
people
meant
are saying,
night. I'm like,
oh no,
why are
no,
they
no.
doing Cody in LA at Survivor? They're
No,
gonna
like
title
a,
versus title. He's like, I'll put the US title up, and then Cody has squashed him. Yeah,
But
LA.
yeah, people are saying
Okay.
like, oh, it's like Rock doesn't have to travel to go to War Games.
I would love them to do Cody and Rock before Mania. I get they probably will do it Mania, but to me, my dream, like night 1, night 2, is Rock and Roman, Cody and Cena. That's my pitch. I want Cody and Cena at Mania. I think the crowd for Cody and Cena is gonna be nuts, and I think that's the time where Cody's like, I don't really going to be a heel ever again, but he could like play into it a little because some people will boo him, and the story of going for his 17. I don't know if he wins, but I think I agree with people too that I'm kind of down for Cena to break the record. Like he's more of a homegrown guy than Ric Flair was. If they're gonna call him the greatest of all time, give him the 17. So I'm not saying I want him to beat Cody or Gunther. So that's the scary thing of like Cena beating any of those. But somehow I think Cody would be the better one to beat. I guess I don't know. I don't know how I feel about any of that. But do you guys think Cena's gonna win the world title on his way out?
I think so. Like in the whole 2025, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then who does he beat? Does he beat is the W champ or world champ?
I think you go world.
So he beats Gunther at Mania.
He
That what we're
he's-
gonna do?
it's not going to be Cody, and the reason I say it's not going to be Cody is because Cody's too big of a star to knock down for that retirement match.
Yeah.
Only to
He's the
then
new
have
guy.
to
Yeah.
give up the belt or something like that. It doesn't make sense. Number two, basically what Cody said in the Chris Van Vliet interview about how him and Cena are alike in the whole people want them to turn heel, and he quoted Cena with saying, "If you're booing me, I'm already a heel to you." Like,
Yeah.
So there's no point in me turning heel because in your mind I'm already a heel. So why don't I just continue to be me?
Yeah.
So
Cena would have
you'll
got
have-
cheered if he turned heel back then.
Yeah, you'll have a clash of two ambiguous people, no heel face dynamic, just two ambiguous people. It wouldn't really make sense in that aspect. So at that point you have to go for the world title. And I
Yeah,
think
'cause
just
with Gunther you can do the whole angle like how like Cena like You could do like the Cena like not a good wrestler angle
Oh,
if
I
you
could say
wanted
you
to.
were a great champion, but you're never the wrestler like I was. Like I can see
Yeah.
Gunther's whole promo already on him.
And then in the
Yeah.
match, you'll have Cena do like all his like U.S. title moves, like hit Gunther like
The
springboard
Code Red.
stunner, Canadian destroyer.
Yeah, I think that's tough. I feel like I know I'm trying to protect Gunther again, but I feel like if they go that route, then they should make a triple threat and have Gunther not take the pin because I feel like that's also just a weird image of John Cena standing over Gunther's body with that title. Like I think if he's supposed to be the monster heel coming up, like you know what, do Randy, Cena, Gunther. Randy kind of gets his wish there to get. That was whole Randy's pitch, though, right? We've never done one-on-one, so that's the issue. But I still think that we're gonna. So if they do Cody and do we still think they're gonna do Cody and Cena at some point in the last run? Because I just think so. Because I think it's
I
the
think
crowd,
at some point it's gonna happen.
but it's just non-title, just like a. You know, that could be like a Raw Netflix or something like that. Just a
I was about to
special
say
one-on-one.
that could be one of the Raw Net. That could
Special
actually be the
exhibition match,
first
yeah.
Netflix one. That's part of their announcement. Hey, we're moving over. And the first match we have announced is John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, and you just do it for America.
And well, that or I could see Cody do the Shawn Michaels Hulk Hogan thing of the I just need to know if I could beat John Cena because I agree with you, David, that like it can be a little murky with their roles, but I just think the crowd is gonna make that match because I think it's gonna be old gen versus new gen. I think you're gonna have like for the first time, but like for the first time in a long time, the old fans are gonna be going for Cena, and then like the newer people are gonna be going for Cody. Like I think it could be. There could be some match, and they both are so good at being over dramatic. They're gonna have some great facial reactions, and that like
Do you think
Hogan
the
Rock
first-
too. That's what I'm saying. You know,
Do you think the first Raw on Netflix could be like a stadium show? Like they could sell at a stadium for it.
they could make it that.
They
Will
did
they?
the-
I don't
in,
know,
in
but
Saudi they had the it was a random like this year for King and Queen of the Ring they did
Right.
SmackDown on like the same arena that they were
Mm-hmm.
gonna do the show and it looked pretty cool like just the SmackDown setup but like in a stadium. I feel like for Raw on Netflix you could sell like especially if you have a match like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what stadium specifically could be, but I could see them doing like a stadium show. Like you announce it like at like Survivor Series or something like that
Yeah.
around that time. Like you
Them
announce,
or-
like we're doing it at this huge stadium for
that
for
or
Raw Netflix.
I don't think they said they're going this year. But what is that stupid ball in Vegas you guys got over there?
The
What is
Sphere.
it? The Sphere.
Oh,
like
the
they,
Sphere.
they gotta do a
I
show
think,
there,
well,
right?
I was seeing like I think UFC is doing a thing there like this year in October, but then also the thing is like apparently it just costs like so much that it's not even worth to. I forget if it was like Dana White who said it's like yeah it looks cool but it's just like it's too expensive to run.
The advertising cost to use the Sphere itself, just like advertising on the Sphere, is astronomical. Like
They gotta do
it's
one show,
millions
though,
of dollars
right?
For 30
I
seconds.
think at some point they'll do it. Also, something randomly I saw yesterday was like there's this one mall in like New Jersey or something that has like a football field inside of it. I was like you could put a show in there.
Yeah. No, I
Also, I
could
found
see
that
them.
they're doing yearly wrestling shows now. I think it's literally like today or this weekend at the Mall of America, like to recreate the first Nitro.
That's cool.
Like they do one. I think they started doing it last year, but like in that exact same spot, like with the stairs on the sides and stuff, they do like a yearly show there.
I'm surprised Tony's not all over that, you know, because he's
I
always
think
trying to hit those
it's
ones.
like they have some people. I think like Orange Cassidy was advertised for and like
Okay.
RVD. So I think definitely like a big. It's like an indie super show,
Mm-hmm.
just like in that exact same spot where they did the first Nitro, which I thought was. I just randomly
That's
googled like,
cool.
has anyone else ever done a show there? And people have apparently.
All right, so I just looked it up. Advertising, just advertising, not renting and running the Sphere, just advertising.
So like the videos
Is-
on the
yes.
outside.
Is $450,000 per day or $650,000 per week to just advertise.
I don't think Geekverse is gonna have any advertisement on there anytime soon. That's not-
So,
not
and
yet.
you know WWE is going to want to get their advertising in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're paying Brock Lesnar prices. to advertise for a day.
I thought you meant paying him to come back. Like, yeah, that's how they kick off the Sphere show. Yeah, they could do the stadium for Netflix. We'll see. I think they're gonna make that show big at least. So yeah,
I mean,
and
it's like the CW NXT. The rumors like they want to do an arena show for the first
that's
one. They
smart.
can definitely sell an arena for NXT,
Mhm.
especially if you have some big stuff like, and you could announce that like if you put that in like, you can do any of the big places like, you can do like the Barclays. They'd probably do it like there, something like that.
Yeah. Is there anybody else like obviously the I'm gonna be one. Everyone wants it. The Punk and Cena thing. I think they'll run it back once. I hope they just don't do like a Rumble tease and that's it. I think they got to run it there. I don't know if they're gonna make that the Netflix one because I've seen a lot of people pitch that. I do think that's a good one, but I think if they do Cody and Cena, they should do it at a bigger stadium show. I think Punk and Cena they could do that on one of the B tier shows just because that could sell that show, right?
I think Punk and Cena might be like. I think both of them will be in the chamber, especially since Punk was supposed to be in it this year.
Yeah.
And you'll probably maybe the first two in the chamber, so you have like a small match tease there where it's them 1-on-1.
And we never get the big match.
I don't know if you get the big one, but
we gotta get the bigger one. If it's his last time, we gotta do one more. We gotta. You gotta.
I think at some point, but I think you'll get the chamber one first, and maybe the Rumble stare down too. Probably
the Rumble stare down for sure. I would love it if they were final two. Actually, if let's say if one of them were to win, I'd love it if they were final two. If like Cena's going for his 17th and Punk's trying to make sure he gets the shot he didn't get last year, that would be great. Now I see the memes already of like way to put over new talent. It's like these fucking guys, but like it's like just do it, you know. It's like they're both on their way. Like Cena's gonna be going, and like Punk has like
Trick Williams to win the Rumble.
Yeah, and he does the old Cena like he used to do this all the time. He just like makes Trick look awful. Yeah. Do we get? Go ahead, Dave.
No, I'd be down for them to ending the Rumble. I don't think the Rumble technically needs to be the thing that winning the Rumble doesn't need to be the thing that makes new talent. A good showing in the Rumble will do it. Get them some spots, give them some good showings, have them eliminate somebody that sets them up for a long-term feud, but you don't need to win the Rumble.
Nakamura won the Rumble, and what's he doing, you know?
Yeah.
Alberto Del Rio once won a Royal Rumble, the biggest Royal Rumble of all time. Braun won the greatest Royal Rumble of all time.
Yeah.
What's he doing, you know? Getting chokeslammed by babyface Priest, looking up the lights.
Still has a championship from that he's never been beaten for. So, I mean, you don't need that in order to make a younger talent. So I think you could have them end it, set it up for a match at WrestleMania, but still use some spot within the match to set up whatever younger talent you're having and go for a different title or a different show.
Mm-hmm. Now, just because it threw it out there, and I think someone even asked in the press conference, do we get thrice in a lifetime, or do we get John Cena versus The Rock in any capacity, like a tag team, a 6-man, anything like that?
I think in some sort of tag team, you could get it.
Yeah, I think that's where you pull it.
Do you think at some point like Cena and Roman tag against Rock and someone?
Oh,
Rock and Jacob Fatu or something like that.
I don't think so. I don't see those pieces going together. I think it's like a super team of like Cody, Randy, and Cena versus like Roman, Rock, and you know Tongaloa. But something like that. Because I do like
you need someone to take the pin. That's why you have Tongaloa in there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're like I didn't think I needed it, but after WrestleMania, I was like, you know what? I don't know if I need thrice in a lifetime, but maybe almost like your pitch, S Bubs, is I don't know what is
last two in the Rumble.
Yeah, like something like that, like something in the Rumble. I don't think Rock's doing a chamber match, but I think they should revisit it because there was enough juice there. I think that stare down and everything, like WrestleMania was hot no matter what, but there was a sense of, okay, this is nostalgic now. We're in the 2000s that got annoying, but like, or the mid 2000s, but I'm down for a tag team match. Like, even if it's just like Rock and somebody versus Cody and Cena, like I'm down for that. So
yeah.
Is there any other big matches or programs before we get back to SummerSlam we want to see Cena work before he's out of there? So we all think he's winning at 17. We all think, well, we're kind of mixed
Cena
on.
has NXT matches somewhere in there.
Oh,
against someone.
The family, fucking Tony D'Angelo or whatever, yeah.
Because he had he was on the NXT like the Let's Be AEW show, but he didn't actually have a match there.
He was on the first ever Takeover too. He raised Neville's hand, Pac, when he won the NXT Championship. Yeah.
Yeah, on that show, they teased like Braun Breaker.
Okay, right.
And then, because he was at because the thing was, he was at ringside for Carmelo Hayes, and then Paul Heyman was ringside for Braun Breaker.
Right. Braun and Cena should happen. That should happen.
Yeah. He almost supered Cena Braun on that NXT show, because Braun just he knocks him down, and then Cena then he goes for to set up the spear, and Cena immediately stands up, puts him in the AA, and then Braun just escaped and ran away.
Oh no, jeez. I think NXT, what you'd get is kind of what they did with Joe Hendry, or it'd be a team match. I don't even know if it'd be a surprise, because I think they'd want to advertise Cena, but I think he'll go down and do a tag team match. Him and Trick versus
Cena versus Hendry for the TNA title.
Yeah, on
NXT television.
Yeah. And Cena wins. and then they do Cena and AJ at TNA. That's what they do. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else. I just hope they don't, in my opinion, waste them. I don't want
no cross.
No cross. I know you're a big babyface theory fan happening, but for me that Mania was a waste there. I do think he should work with younger talent, but I do think WWE should be let's do all those blockbuster matches, every single one, and let's just, this is the time. If he's serious,
if he has 30 to 40 dates, I feel like that means either he's on every show, or he's doing house shows and stuff. Because they even had that. I was looking up in 2021, I think after SummerSlam or something, or either before that, when he was gonna fight Roman, they had a Summer of Cena event where they advertised them for 10 dates, but they were all dark matches.
They're all. I never
shows.
understood it. And Sean Ross, that report, they were paying him the same amount they would have paid him if he was on TV. It wasn't a thing if you're on air, you pay. Why weren't they pre-recording stuff? Why wasn't he wrestling those? I know you can't do him versus, I don't know, fucking Jey Uso every night on Raw, but just that way, it was such a waste. I never understood. I think the idea was Vince wanted to make it feel special, but it's he's there for 10 weeks. Use him. It was the oddest thing, and that's in the time too where AEW was starting to get do very well against them. So it's you have Cena, use them. It was super odd. That's just one of those Vinceisms. That was
a while this year that Punk was they'd advertise him for the shows, and he'd come out at the end to throw gifts into the crowd with Jey Uso.
Yeah, I'm oh great, yeah. I guess the last question: who do you think the last match is? Then, whenever that happens, who's the last match? Because I don't know. I'm just gonna say honestly, Cody.
Yeah,
I want to be Cody.
I don't know. At this point, I think it's too hard to predict. Just because you never know who he's gonna already face or who he's not gonna face until the end.
So I was gonna say though, here's another thing: if we all think he's winning the title, would his last match be losing the title, or would he lose it before that?
Lose it to Ric Flair. No,
I think he might lose. He could lose it before them and rematch for it. This is my last ever shot.
Yeah.
At this. And so he'll get the 17, and then let's go for the 18.
I think. Let's see. I think he'll just win it, and I think the last match will be when he loses the title, and I think it's gonna be somebody that if it's no title in my thing, I think it's Cody. You just do the full torch passing, they hug it out, they both cry, good moment, yada yada yada. If it's for the title, I bet it's someone we can't even think of. It's somebody newer, not Mello, but somebody.
That's a make a match.
Yeah,
that is definitely a match that if he's losing the title and that's it, his final match is him losing the title. That's a match that you make somebody off of.
It could even be Braun too. That could be one where they give Braun a huge this is your moment, because it has to be a guy that's for sure made. I don't want to be Theory where it's well, we think he's the guy with the US. It has to be this person's gonna be in your top 4 to 5 guys in the next couple of years.
Well, that's why
next 10
Braun
years.
didn't win the IC title because they didn't feel like Money in the Bank was a big enough stage. Which I'm like,
Yeah.
that's your
That's
top
silly.
5. Arguably, could be top 4 pay-per-view. I mean, depending on who you.
I think it's
ask.
top 4. Yeah, like Triple H is trying to get Survivor Series back to where it was, but the last decade Survivor Series was below Money in the Bank. Let's be honest. Like
Exactly.
since 2011, Money in the Bank overtook it. So that's just a weird thing. So what?
Yeah.
Is that just gonna happen at SummerSlam then? Braun and Sammy again or something? Or are they gonna do the triple threat? I guess with Dragunov maybe, which will be fun. But
Meltzer was saying it was gonna be Braun Sammy rematch, so that's it's gonna be a triple threat with Ilya Dragunov.
I hope it's a triple threat. I just don't want a rematch and then just Braun wins and it's like, well, we should have just done this at Money in the Bank. If the reason is we just didn't want him to do it at Money in the Bank, that's a lame reason. I don't know.
I could see like Braun wins. Do you do Ilya Braun at Bash in Berlin?
Yeah, that's true, right? They could always do it there if they're not doing that in Gunther. Okay. Bailey versus Nia Jax. I think last month we were all in the camp of Nia Jax winning. Are we still in that camp, or is anyone changing their mind?
I'm still not sure because I think like if they give I don't know if they'd give Tiffany the custom briefcase just to have it for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they gave Damien the custom briefcase and he had it like for a year.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe you could have like, because even like from the first week they were already teasing like the Tiffany's gonna cash in on Nia.
Yeah.
So I feel like you could have you could have like just not cash in, like goes for the cash in, but doesn't even not a failed cash in, just like doesn't even start the cash in.
Or just like a couple...
Or you could have Nia get distracted by her. Like
Yes.
she takes out Tiffany when she's gonna cash in, and then Bailey beats her. So it's
They
like
did
you
that
cost
with-
me even by.
They did that with Finn, Damien, and Seth, where Finn was like, or Damien was on the ringside helping Finn, but the whole time Finn was like, "What are you doing?" Like anytime Damien would move, he's like, "Get down! Like it's my match, it's my match." And then Finn lost because of that. So I think you can have. That's what I'm going with Nia. Nia wins, and you have months of will they, won't they? And I think you either have 2 options. You can have Tiffany cash in on Nia at some point, and then she just becomes a babyface, or you have Nia and a babyface. Whoever beats Nia goes through like a hell of a match where they're so hurt and they've been destroyed, and then Tiffany just gets the win, and it's almost like Nia's a little pissed because it's like, I did all the work, I still lost, but then you just got the easy win. So that's why I think Nia's taking it.
I see that happening this match. I see Nia and Bailey going the distance, and then Tiffany coming in and stealing it, and then you have the whole Nia like, "Yo, I've been protecting you, and you just stole my shot."
Like Espeb said, what about that case though? You know, she has to have that pink case for a couple months, don't you think?
No, they're still gonna sell that thing. Like that thing's still gonna be on the WWE shop. It's not like, oh, she's no longer having the case. We're pulling that down. No, that thing's gonna be up there for a while. Wouldn't be surprised. I haven't checked WWE shop in a while. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Yeet in the Bank case up there, even though Jay didn't win. Like they're gonna get their money.
I
Discount.
think there's like a Toronto case that's like blue and red.
50% off after he loses. Okay, so you think Nia's not winning, but then Tiffany's cashing in. Okay, I think they'll do that maybe down the line. I think SummerSlam might be too soon, but
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, it's weird because it's like I feel like Bailey's not retaining, but then I also don't feel like either Nia or Tiffany are winning. It's like, it's weird. I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna go.
I wonder if they do some schmozzy finish where they can like Nia does lose, but it's like a roll, like something like that, where it's just Tiffany does distract her and they just both kind of X each other out. I don't know. It's interesting. Nia and Bailey, I love Bailey, but I think it's like what we talked about last episode. I really need her to have like a big feud here, and I don't think Nia talking about like BBLs is what's getting me like, oh, I can't wait to see these two fight. Like the example of again like that versus Monet and Britt, I'm like, that's not there. We're living Rhea that has that there, right? So and even so, let's say if Bailey. Who else? Let's say if Nia and Tiffany don't win or whatever, if Bailey just beats her, is there anyone up next? I guess they can always do Chelsea,
You'd
right?
have like Naomi turn heel and like attack her.
And then Jade's really why?
I think they still don't trust Jade enough to go to
No, of
singles.
course. No, I was just gonna
Because they
say.
had literally advertised a match like I forget when it was. It was like Jade versus Indy Hartwell in like a singles match, and like all the tweets were like this is gonna be bad. Like and then like the day of SmackDown they just changed it to like a tag match with
Oh.
Bianca.
And see, I actually think Jade's been doing well. She still has some spots, but like she's still doing good. I wish they would actually like heat up Candice LeRae, and even Bailey said that she would like her to like have a bigger role. So that's my hope is they go back to Candice LeRae as like the cancer heel that's just the worst person in the world, and that they could heat her up. But that's so there's a couple of them there. What I was gonna say is because I think we did review the show. I have no idea why they took the tag titles off Bianca and Jade. I feel like they've just been kind of floundering now. Like I feel like they should have kept those longer. I'm glad that they got that moment in Scotland, Dawn and Fire, but I thought that was way too soon because I just feel like now they just don't
I
know what to
mean
do with
that
those
is
three.
why they did it. Plus with Drew not winning, they were like we have to give the Scotland people
Well, if you ask
something.
Triple H or the pressers, that's not it. It's just because they earned it, you know. But yeah,
I think
Yeah.
no. What you're saying, not it. Was people were saying about like
right. The trash
yeah,
thing. Right. Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
that was so. It was probably the moment there. But yeah, I just think then they should have just had them like win it back a month later. Then I just feel like that was the perfect route because I just feel like both Jane and Bianca. They're just kind of around right now. They're doing stuff. They're working with Jade, but the tag titles just at least felt more. Just felt like they had okay. They're the champions. They're defending. They're doing this. They're doing that. They could be on both shows. So I don't know. In retrospect, I don't love the decision of still keeping the titles off them. So
Yeah.
finally for SummerSlam, as of right now, we'll talk about if there's any other matches. And this is not even an official match, but we got some collection of Seth, Drew, Punk. Right now, the working theory is that it's going to be Drew and Punk, and then there is rumors that it's going to be the special guest referee with Seth. Drew and Punk, I think, is obviously the right call. I'm somebody that I don't like the special referee for the first match. I get why they would do it, but I feel that Drew and Punk has enough juice that I want to see it alone first. Where I get that Seth's there, but it almost just feels like they don't have anything for Seth to do at SummerSlam, so they're going to attack him on. I think I would rather them at least just have him at commentary then, like they did with Punk, because that wasn't at bad. That sometimes it was distracting, but I would just say, hey, you did that for my match, so I'm going to do that for yours, and have him sitting there. The special guest referee, you just know there's a bunch of pushing spots. They both get nose to nose, and Seth's gonna do this. I'm the rep. Like he's gonna do that stupid thing where he shows and then they both get him bumped, and then Seth's gonna curb stomp Punk, and Drew's gonna get the win, and Seth and Drew are gonna look at each other like, what does this mean? Like, thank you, and then like Punk's they're conspiring against me. Like, I just feel like it's. We see the match. We know the full layout. Where I think Punk and Drew alone, I think is more creative, and I actually would like their either way to be kind of a somewhat clean finish. I think Drew could beat Punk clean and be fine because Punk's coming back from injury. That's how you play up for the rematch is, hey, first singles match back, I just wasn't ready. And then the next time you can have Punk beat him. So I'm excited for the match, of course, but I'm iffy on the special ref stip. I'm not sure. I get why it's going to set up Punk and Seth, and eventually they'll do the triple threat, which I thought would be for the world title. Really don't know now with Gunther now. So, David, what do you think is going to happen here? Are they going to do the special guest referee like the rumoring? And then what do you think about the actual match if it happens?
I am just here for Seth Rollins coming out in a zebra striped fur coat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I want. Yes, I think they're going to do the special guest ref. I want for two reasons. A, it helps build up whatever storyline they're going for. B, it also helps mask the match a little bit. You get more rest time and things like that if you can do some referee spots or some referee interference things, stuff like that. Like you give Punk some time to rest in the corner while maybe
You're saying they're worried
Seth-
about Punk, is what you're saying?
With Seth also with special guest referee, he could kind of have like the. I mean, you could do like just not count and they can fight like outside
Yes,
for a while.
Seth
stuff like
not
that. Like,
counting
you can not
because
have like
he's-
a wrestling match. Like you can just
Look
you
at this. I was
have
just
a-
talking about Jamie Yonka. They're going to be in Hot Ones. They just announced that. There you go.
Ooh.
Together. So there you go.
Well, yeah, you can
That's what they're
have
doing.
like you can have a good crowd brawl there where Seth's just like not count, and then they just run out there and hit each other with like you could make this like a referee discretion type thing where it's
Yeah.
like
Yes.
yeah, I'll just let them like well Punk hit Drew with chairs, so let's just you could do that where you could have Drew hit Punk with like a chair and then Punk goes for it. So it's like oh like I'm the ref, you can't do that.
But is that what we
You're gonna just have to like mess with them. I don't know how they.
I
I don't know if
don't
they're gonna
want
have
that
it
for
like
the first
fully
match.
because people always post like the what is it like the Brian one with Triple H as the ref where it's like the whole match he's just like he's just fully refing it like he just do. You even see people post the clips like he even does like when they do like the big finishers he does like the like the he does all the referee.
This guy's been a wrestler for fucking 30 years. He can't believe like oh my god. I see. I just like I don't want any of this for the. This is like a blood feud. They should be beating each other up. They're not doing Hell in the Cell because Punk made that joke.
Before like this like special guest ref theory. My theory was that because they were sort of doing like oh it might not happen because Drew didn't say he was sorry. I was thinking they were gonna do like a like unsanctioned match or something like that.
Oh yeah,
that's what my theory is gonna be.
Do a cinematic match? No, I'm joking. But yeah,
Hardy compound match.
Yeah. So David, you didn't say who is Drew getting the win. No matter what the match is Drew getting the win?
I think that Drew has to get the win at this point.
Okay.
I think that especially with everything that has been going on, like you can't have Punk get the win because then what is there for Drew at this point? He's lost at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He's gotten checked by Punk on so many occasions. He's lost
3
Money
times.
in the Bank.
Mania, Money in the Bank, and then what was Clash? 3 times Punk has messed him up. Yeah.
So you have to have him get the win. Now, how that's going to happen, who knows? I mean, you could even have a thing where Seth, as the ref, takes the wild ref bump and gets knocked out. Then you have a Charles Robinson or somebody else run down and do the actual count.
You can't do that. You can't kill Seth. He can't take the. This is a man that like
Claymore. Punk puts him up for the GTS. They throw him out of the ring.
They're gonna do that bad spot where it's just 2 wrestlers going for a German. They bump into the ref in the turnbuckle, and Seth's like, "Oh," and he's like squish, and he's like, "That no, you can't."
He's Shawn Michaels flops over the ropes. He's
over the ropes. He's rolling out.
The only way I'm fine with that if Seth gets hit in the knee and they're like, oh no, his formerly injured knee. That I'm fine with them going down then, but I don't want him to take one finisher. Like he clicked out a Claymore at WrestleMania.
I'd kind of want Seth to be an enforcer, but then that just makes it like, oh well, they're gonna do a ref bump.
Yeah.
Because you want to get him in the ring.
S-Bubs, is Drew taking this one, whatever happens?
Yeah. I feel like this is on the same level as like 100% as like Liv beating Rhea, because they're definitely want to do a rematch.
Yeah. Yeah,
especially since it's not for the title with Drew and Punk, you can have more back and forth of one of them wins one.
Yeah. And that's why I just kind of, I don't know. I hope one of these matches we get non-referee because I know there's tons of matches where shenanigans are great. I just didn't want this for the first one, and then I guess they'll do a triple threat. But I always thought the triple threat was gonna be for the title, and I don't think they will. I think they're just gonna do like a straight up like feud triple threat at some point, and I hope they do that. I think there's enough story with 3 of them interlinked that if they don't do one, it'll feel like a missed opportunity to me. Do you guys feel like that's locked? Or do you feel like we might not get that because there's no title involved?
They'll definitely do triple threat at some point.
Okay. Yeah. It will happen sometime. I just don't know when, but it will definitely happen.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else on SummerSlam that's not added that would be worth bringing up that could be added? Do we get Bo and Cable?
Do you like any involvement from the White Six here?
I think you have to. I think people have shared that whole thing. Fiend debuted at SummerSlam, Bray, and I think you just do like a 6 to 7 minute match. I'm sorry, Chad, you're gonna get squashed here, but like I
I,
think that's just what.
I think one of my most viral tweets from like yesterday that I put out was like, because there's this guy who before Heatwave like put a picture of the card, and
Right.
he was like, not a single 4-star match on this card, and so
Mhm.
people were joking like Sean was showing this to the guys backstage. So they would have good matches. Like
Yeah.
I thought it's like Uncle Howdy and Chad Gable seeing the not a single 4-star match on SummerSlam
Yeah, I
tweet.
saw that one. That was good. Yeah, I think they do it and they just run the Finn Fiend playbook where it's a quicker match. Finn got some offense, but it was a Fiend showcase match. And I did really like the Rowan tape. I like that we changed up a little bit. I wish that we do get a tape for maybe each of them, and then I'm done with the tapes. I'm done with every week of Pat McAfee and Michael Colby like, oh, what's this? Oh, another tape. Like, just like I hope
I wish they
SummerSlam's the
already
end.
know to pre-send it to the
Yes.
TV truck.
Yeah, they're like, let's get out of there. David, do you think we get any of the Wyatt Six stuff here, or does
We have
Raw?
to get something from the Wyatt Six, and I do want it to be something physical. I would prefer an impromptu match. I would
okay.
prefer Gable coming out and
I
calling
think,
out.
I think, yeah, they want that. And I mean, it could be a short match because that entrance is like 10 minutes long.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The only disadvantage is the outdoor stadium feel. So it's got to be later in the match. It could be right before the final match. So
Absolutely.
at least
Yeah.
the sun is down. That is the one thing that you have to be wary about because one of the years, I think it was Bray versus The Undertaker.
Yeah,
It was
31. I was
still
there live. Yeah.
daytime.
They
and it's
waited
like-
as long as they could to the last match, and still it was because Cali it takes a while to like that sun goes down, especially that time. So I also think before the main, it's not a bad thing because I think people cheer, but it's not gonna be like an exhaustive match that'll like kill the crowd. It's just like a fun moment type of match and feeling.
You,
It's
you
not
get
like
your Firefly moments. You
Yes.
get a couple of spots here and there, but you're not going to get drained by this match. This isn't a 30-minute spot fest. They're going to come out. They're going to do some things, and I do think that the Wyatt Six needs to have some sort of win. I would prefer it be Bo Dallas, but regardless, you have someone come out as a representative. And
Dexter
they get the win.
Loomis. Dexter Loomis is the first guy to get it. Okay. All right. So then after that, a few weeks later, we'll talk about All In here before we go to the other side of it. I got to ask you guys this because I feel crazy again, but this happened to me last time where everybody felt like for the whole year, everyone's like, okay, Drew's winning at Clash. And then a month before, everyone turned like, well, no, Drew's not going to win. I was like, no, like this has been the vision the whole time. That's why they got him re-signed, he's going to win the title, and then he didn't. I feel like the same thing is happening right now with Brian Swerve, where I feel like everybody but me is like, oh yeah, they're gonna strap Brian, and I'm just like, I don't think so. I felt like it's just gonna be a big match, and it's because Brian is like, okay, he's a believable opponent that they could strap him, but I suppose where are you? Because yeah, they did the Owen Hart Classic, Tournament Cup, whatever. It's a fucking long title. Brian wins. He finally won something big. He's going against Swerve. They've only had one match, which I do recommend. They had a match last year after Swerve's Wrestle Dream, and it was really good. But are you with the people that are starting to turn? Do you think they're gonna give Brian like the thank you strap, or do you think Swerve retains here?
I don't know. I feel like Swerve might retain, especially with like they already given him other credible like the Ospreay one.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel, especially if you're building, I feel like they probably want to have Swerve as the champion for like a while,
Yes.
and I think that's a big moment.
Him and TK and Triple H love their long reigns. They got that in common. I think it's like they're both like they don't like anyone losing that's under 100 days, other than like the Money in the Bank cash-ins and stuff. But they love got to be over 100.
Yeah, so I think he is retaining.
Okay.
Well, one
Yeah.
thing I did see is like someone was talking about those Triple H long reigns, and someone put like every Johnny Gargano title reign of any kind has been under 50 days. Like he never gets past like tag title,
All
North
tag
American
titles.
title, NXT title. Like the max is like 49 days.
And you know what? It could be that again because I think they're just gonna have the Bloodline win that team match. And I think they're just gonna strap the Bloodline like right
Yeah,
away.
they're about to squash DIY, and then the
Yeah.
Motor City Machine Guns run out and stop the Bloodline.
Oh God, that's who teams with Cena to fight the Rock is the Motor City Machine Guns. What about you, Dave? What's happening here? Big main event. I imagine they're going on last. I'm excited because I always love when the foreign shows. The show's at 10 a.m. So I'm like, oh yeah, I like these nice morning, afternoon ones. You know. So
yeah, I loved last time All In. I was watching it in the middle of the day. I still had time to do stuff because normally, like me and my girl, we live in separate time zones, so like a lot of our date nights are virtual. Like we'll pick a movie and then pull FaceTime up and watch a movie. So this is perfect for me. I get my pay-per-view in the middle of the day, and then I can still make sure she has her time without saying anything. But no, I have a feeling that Strickland is going to retain off of this. I think he's going to get the big win off of Bryan Danielson. Just like you guys said, Tony likes the long reigns. And I also think that at this point in AEW's lifespan, again, they're just 5 years old, having long reigns is important. It's too early to do the quick switches.
hot potatoes.
Yeah, because remember, like, for WWE for the longest time, there were long reigns. And then they started doing the hot potato back and forth.
Attitude
And that's
era,
when
yeah. Triple H
people
and
start-
Rock were hawk tuning that thing back and forth.
People post
Yeah.
that, like, I think in, like, I forget which year it is. I think 99. There's
99.
like 15 different
Yeah.
WWE champions.
99 was
like that.
brutal. It literally was just like, it was,
Yeah, I
I guess,
think
must watch because you never knew it was going to switch, but it was like you could not almost get invested in anybody, you know?
Yeah,
So,
you didn't have time to really enjoy anyone's title reign. So you're sitting here talking about The Rock, and they're like, oh, he's got 9 world titles. I'm like, yeah, 3 of those were in the same year, and they were all short reigns. Like,
and it would be
so-
stuff like Kane would win the title, and then like the next night on Raw, he loses it. They did that. Mankind he had like a 2-week run. I think Big Show didn't he have like a 2-day run or something like
Yeah.
that? Like, yeah, it was like he won it at like a SummerSlam, and then it's like, okay, we're taking off. It's just like, all right, like I guess, I guess probably because it was WCW, so they were probably just going with what they felt was hot at the
ratings
time.
every
Yeah,
week.
exactly, right? They're like, hey, well, this should work, but
I mean, that's why they were getting like 4 million viewers a week because there was
Yes.
like they were winning and losing the title every week.
Yep.
that
The
when
whole-
when AEW gets below 500, they're gonna start hot potatoing the title all over the stuff.
I mean,
'cause-
now they're gonna have a 1 hour match every week.
Oh yeah. We stayed 800. Okay. Let's see. Mariah and Tony, you're up. Go 1 hour, which I'm fine. I like the 1 hour matches. We'll get into because apparently not everyone does. But because I've seen the sentiment of he loses it here and then Dream wins it back or Strickland wins back at Wrestle Dream, because I've seen that of, well, maybe this should be the first time they do the hot potato for Bryan, just to like get him on there to say he won the title. But I don't know.
I think there's a chance of it happening. I don't think
Absolutely.
it's like a 0%.
Tony loves
If
Bryan.
Tony's just forcing Bryan to sign that
Yeah.
contract
Yeah.
to win the title.
And Sting didn't want to win the titles, but Tony was still like, you're winning them. And I could see Tony doing the same thing to Bryan of like, no, we want you in the lineage. And I could see Swerve being a team player, because I also think Swerve knows when his contract's up, he's going to get a fat offer from WWE. Like he was, I don't know if he was a Triple H guy, but like Triple H, he was in the air when he booked him to win the North American Championship. So I feel like, especially Swerve now, I feel like it's a very Cody thing of, they'll sell fucking cardboard hands where he could do the stupid Swerve thing. I don't know if Prince Nana comes with them, but I think Swerve's kind of in a situation where he did his goal, right? He wanted to be the first black AEW world champion. He did it, and he wants to keep doing big matches, of course. But now I do feel like he's going to leave. He's never, not like add to us. I just feel like he's going to get to a point where it's like, he's done everything there, and he's going to want like a bigger challenge,
I feel
in my
like
opinion.
a lot of places, like even AEW, it's like, I think that now it's like, it's almost like they've signed like everyone.
Yes.
So it's like, if you have all the matches there, and then after that, it's like, what's he gonna do after that?
It might just be
Like,
the old
only
one-off,
other-
like swapping talent, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Even for WWE and AEW, it's like everyone is in one of the two companies, pretty much. So it's like, once you're done, like, go to the other one.
Yeah. So
I mean, it wouldn't be too far-fetched for him to leave. I have a feeling that he's going to retain, and then we are finally going to get the good rematch between Swerve and Hangman for the title.
That's
So
the thing I was gonna ask. What's Hangman doing though at this? Because I know people are like, "Oh, it's Okada," but I don't. That makes zero sense to me. Of Okada, who's supposed to be a heel, he is a comedic heel. I get it, but then you have Hangman, who's like a brutal heel. I don't know. I don't see that story really at all. Because I think you have to turn one of them, and I don't think any. They're clearly saving Okada for when Kenny gets back, and I think Hangman they're gonna save to Swerve. So, do they do something where
They'll
Hangman
be, like,
costs Swerve?
You get like a tag match or something like
Oh.
I don't know. Wasn't that like at last All In they put like all these people in a tag like Kenny was in a tag match
Yeah.
for like biggest show of all time, put him in a tag match.
Yes, they love doing that with Kenny sometimes. I think Tony just sometimes not underappreciates. I also sometimes get the feeling that Kenny is like doesn't speak up enough. Like maybe he should be a bit more Hogan Kenny, like especially because that was the thing in the first year AEW. The Bucks and Kenny lost a lot, and everyone was like, "What are we doing here?" And apparently it was their idea, but everyone's like, "You're the main guys. Like you kind of have to like strong arm a little bit." And then after they went on long runs, but I sometimes feel like Kenny should maybe do the this doesn't work for me, brother, and like sometimes you should,
I feel like Kenny definitely seems very chill guy. Like he's like, yeah, okay, like
yeah, sure, I'll do a tag match.
Yeah.
Kenny to me is just the I love pro wrestling meme. Like
that's what I was gonna say. Like if he's in a match, he's happy. Yeah,
I did
way.
it all in. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Maybe Hangman could go. I would actually. My pitch is Pac because Pac said he wants a big moment at Wembley. That's not really a big moment, but like they'll have a great match together. So that's my kind of pitch. Because at first I was with people. I thought they were gonna do Pac and Ospreay, and now Ospreay doesn't even have a fucking title anymore. So I don't. We'll get there in a second. But I thought they were gonna do the two Brits are on the big stage for the title. But I'm gonna say you do Pac and Hangman. They have a great match. Pac gets to be the homegrown, babyface British wrestler. Because who else is the? I guess you could do. Did they? No, they did Okada. Why am I feeling like they did Okada on Pac somewhere? Am I wrong?
They did that on Dynasty.
For one, right? They did. Yeah, or was it
Okada's title? Whatever.
Yes. Okay. So they already did that. That was the place that kind of made me do that. So I don't know, and I think they'll give Okada a big singles match. I don't know against who, but I think they will. And, well, obviously, because AEW always fucking does like 12, 15 matches. So
he'll be on Okada, Darby?
I think they're doing Perry and Darby, though, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because they've been, setting up, because they both beat up Brandon Cutler the past 2 weeks. They're doing some weird, edging storyline. Like, look at me, I can beat this guy up, too. So they'll do Perry and Darby. Yeah, so that's why I worry when people pitch Hangman and Okada
will be the Tongaloa for the Bucks. He'll just stand at ringside with this title.
AW roster, I guess Orange Cassidy's always an option, and the fact that Okada is a bit more comedic, they actually could have some fun with that in a way.
You could do a no DQ against Orange Cassidy. That could be a fun one.
I wish Edge was healthy because I would like that there, and then just fucking put the title.
What's Christian doing now?
He's
Okada and Christian.
He's with the Bang Bang gang. They're doing they're trying to go to Christian Jay White, which I didn't. Did I miss this? Is Jay White legitimately injured? Has anyone?
I don't think so. I think it's supposedly a storyline, but they
Yeah.
I think they vacated the trios titles now.
Yeah.
Because the rule is only the ROH ones have Freebird rules, the AEW ones don't, so they had to vacate it.
Yeah.
But I think they're still carrying them around because they're they love them so much, or
and then
something.
they're wrestling the whatever they call the hierarchy next week. So Christian's gonna be strapped up as the three-way champ next week. I'm pretty sure with his son, which I always love that. You got Moxley, but we've done a Moxley Okada before. Yeah, I'm just gonna say Orange. They're just gonna do that. People love Orange. Orange will put on a good match. You'll get just as close to being the Great Okada, and then
if Okada can sell the Tongaloa strikes, he can sell for Orange Cassidy.
I would assume so. I would think that would happen. Or get Ricky Starks. He's just sitting on the fucking bench doing nothing, waiting for his contract.
He'll be at SummerSlam. He won't be at all, and he'll be watching.
He'll be in the skybox, booing Solo Sikoa.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got that. The other match, it's not announced yet, but it's gonna happen. They're probably doing a Bucks and Acclaimed, and I think Bucks are just gonna beat Acclaimed. This week they're doing Blood and Guts, and like for me, the weakest lineup Blood and Guts have ever had. Unfortunately, I like the Team Elite because
Yeah.
it's just okay. It's the Elite with Okada,
From what
cool.
I'm seeing is like people are saying like it's like Blood and Guts is becoming like what Hell in a Cell was, where it's like
Kind of.
you're not
just
to,
do it.
like it's just gonna happen every year, so we just have to make something.
Yeah.
For
Blood and Guts should not be like Survivor Series where it's like, oh, the yearly 5-on-5 match is coming up. Who do I have here? It's just, especially like.
It should be a big blow off. It should
Yeah.
should
Plus,
be
it's
a
more
blood
impactful
feud
if you
blow
like
off.
it's gonna be in Blood and Guts like that. I think that would get even more viewers than just like Blood and Guts is happening in 3. Like if you're building
Yeah.
a big feud, it's like, oh, are they gonna do it in Blood and Guts?
And it
It's
feels
oh,
like
yeah,
it-
it is gonna be.
It just feels like
It's like here, like people knew Blood and Guts was coming, so it's like
Yes.
I guess like who's gonna be in this match? Like,
yeah. To me,
it's
it
not
just
like
feels
I
like
want
it.
them to be in Blood and Guts. It's like who are they gonna put in Blood and Guts?
And who's available, because the team
Yeah.
for AEW, to me, like Swerve and Darby makes sense. Darby's like true and true AEW. Swerve's the champ. I get it. I think they're eventually trying to get him. I guess the Elite will just back Hangman eventually. But for me, this match just kind of feels like a nuisance right now. Like with the build to All In, it feels like a weird side quest they're on. Like, oh, we gotta do Blood and Guts. It's like you don't have to. Like wait a little bit. I like Mark Briscoe again. I just don't like. I hate the ROH champion thing. Me and Dave talked about this. I do not like have ROH doing his thing. It just feels like that's like a prop. And Acclaimed, they're not right for this match right now. They got no juice. I'm fine with them versus Bucks at Wembley. That's a fine tag team, whatever match. They can have some fun there. Them and Blood and Guts, just like I don't know, just doesn't seem like a right fit. So this is definitely the least hype I've been for a Blood
talk
and Guts.
now is like they wanted like the Bucks versus Motor City at all, and
Oh,
they,
shit.
they didn't get them, so now they just had to like what tag team is there in AEW that we can fight? So it's like I guess the Acclaimed. Let's just put them in here.
And honestly,
That's
them,
the rumor. That's like they wanted Motor City, and Motor City said we're going to WWE. So it's
I
like,
believe that
there's no one
completely.
else, so let's put the
Yeah.
Acclaimed in.
Because if
here.
you look at the lineup, the same team AEW, but you put the Guns in there instead of the Acclaimed, that changes the hype levels right away. So no, I completely buy that's probably what the case was, and Acclaim is just the
They were
pick.
back
Oh,
up.
that sucks. I wish even the Acclaims or the Guns came in for like one match and went to WWE because that and I like the Acclaim. I didn't turn. I get Max Caster can kind of be annoying, but like I'm fine with the Acclaim. But yeah, that's
Because
damn.
apparently, because Motor City, they were like in negotiations since like April, and everyone
Yeah.
thought it was like 100%. I'm pretty sure even they,
Oh, yeah.
the Bucks would have thought like, okay, like this is locked in pretty much. Like they're not going to WWE, but now
Yeah.
it seems like they are.
And I'm fine with that. I just hope it's something that's been weird. Triple H and NXT's tag division was outstanding. He had the tag titles main event in his shows multiple times. There's no way a tag title could get even close to main eventing a show right now. So whether it's him, creative, I really hope, because I don't want the Guns.
I think. Oh, were you or are you talking for WWE or AEW?
For WWE. Like,
Oh,
I just
okay.
don't want the Guns to go there, have a big month, and then they're just another
I think
team that we see
Sean
every once in a while.
Ross Sapp, like with they're saying because they taped the Gauntlet match for next week for
Yeah.
SmackDown because there's a double taping, and I think Sean Ross Sapp I think it was him was saying like next week is like they're setting up the tag division.
I saw
as like
that,
a big
yes.
point. Yeah.
So I hope
that makes me
that's-
feel
yes.
too that it's like they're building all these teams because like it seems like they're coming in.
Yeah, and I hate the stuff I don't like. I get you want to get Jacob Fatu over. Don't have him crush the team champions. I hate that shit. I hated that shit last year when they had MJF defend the tag titles alone. Unless it is like a fucking job squad, like the low jobbers, a team, an active team that's been together for many years should beat a one guy. Like that should be the situation. In one-on-one matches, sure, have the single guy squash him, but in team, it makes me and Jacob Fatu's fine. They're just trying to get him over, but that's why the tag division should never be. It should never just be to feed to a top star, you know.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, let's see. If the Bucks and Acclaimed verse, anyone think the Acclaim's winning that?
No.
No. My hope is that they turn House of Black good guys and they have them feud with the Bucks for a bit because I actually think they could have some good matches there. All right.
I mean, House of Black, like they could turn face and like fight Christian and like his trio.
Right. You're probably right. That's because it's a trio. You're probably right. That's what's gonna happen.
And then that's when
Yeah.
Adam Copeland comes back and helps the House of Black.
Yeah.
Now that they're good guys.
Or no, is the reverse? Does he help Christian? Maybe we finally get
Yeah.
we get E and C back together, or E and A and stuff. But yeah, no, you're probably right. It'll be the hierarchy versus team. We want to go back to WWE. I'm always curious what Brody King's like.
Show match.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see here. Tony versus Mariah.
That's actually the match that I'm most looking forward to because
I
Tony's
think
been
so,
putting on some straight bangers.
Yes,
and
she
I
heard
think
the
this match
criticisms
is
of the
gonna be
comedy
great.
matches. I feel like
Yeah.
the first 3 months of Reign, everyone was like, we like the character, but these matches kind of stink. And I think now she's like, okay, I got to actually go back to the wrestler of Tony Storm, you know?
Yeah.
Mariah May's got to take it, though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Has to.
It's time, and if you're gonna put it on anyone else, this is the time to do it. This is the person to do it with. Yeah, it's a good time to swap that title.
Mm-hmm. It's funny. I'm still very excited for Swerve and Bryan because they had that great match, so I think they're going to have another good one. But it feels very much like WWE 2014 to 16, where just this month right now, like the women were the main thing in WWE, and the men, like no one cared about the men because they had some shit stories. Not the same here, but like the two women's matches are the ones I'm most excited for right now. And the Mariah turn, I knew it was going to happen, but I actually was wrong. I always thought they were going to have Tony turn. I know she's popular, but just the way that the story was going, and I loved the turn. I love that because there's so many times they do a belt or chair shot where you can just see it the second. I love that it was like, it looked awkward the way they're walking up the ramp, and Mariah grabbed the belt quickly and hit them. Loved the shoe to the head, like, did phenomenal. I actually really liked the thing this week of her coming out as Timeless and doing the whole gimmick, so I think they've done way better than I thought. And that turn was really, really well done, and I'm really excited. I think they're going to have...
And now this week she has like a new character. Because
Mariah?
they announced it like the debut of the something.
Oh,
Mariah
I
May.
missed that. That'll be
Yeah.
fun. Yeah,
It's
that's
like
going to be
the-
good.
It's like an
Her-
all red logo, like blood red. I forgot
Oh,
the.
yeah.
But they announced it like it's like the debut of the something Mariah May. I forget.
Just don't
It's
start
on
wearing blood
AEW's
gear, please. No
it's
blood
on
gear.
AEW's Twitter. Let me find it
Okay.
because it was like a cool name.
That's fun.
But her saying "watch for the shoe" was just great.
Oh yeah, that was a 10 out of 10 heel turn. That was just I loved it. I can't wait for that. Is my most anticipated match of that show. They do gotta deliver. Luckily, they both can wrestle, and I hope that's what I hope. There's very little to no comedy spots. You know, maybe
The glamour Mariah May.
Yeah,
The
the glamour.
the glamour. Oh
I
God.
can put it on the Discord. I have the
Okay.
photo there.
Let's see here. The glamour Mariah.
The
May.
render is weird. I don't know. It doesn't look like her.
Yeah, it looks a little touched up, but okay, Mariah glamour. Okay, and then I'm sure Tony's gonna interrupt that, get her come up and do a little beating up. And the other
like
woman's
they have the red Dynamite logo too. Like how usually it's like rainbow colors. They have it like all red.
Oh, I see that now. Yeah. So yeah,
I think
I think Mariah's doing a great job, and I think she could have a fun run here. And my hope is that she fucking beats Tony, keeps it for a little bit, and then Jamie Hayter, because I hope she's okay, because this has been a long time off, and I'm really ready for her to come back. Because behind Rhea, she's my number 2. I love Hayter. She's that type of person that just put on a good match with anybody, just like a broomstick, and Hayter's in there. So I think that could be fun. Also Monet as well, but I'm hoping with the UK show she could come back at the show and get the big pop. I don't think she'll be wrestling on it, but I hope that you get an entrance. Maybe with Britt. Maybe there's something with Monet's beating her down after the match. I don't know. And that's another one where I know everybody kind of thought, okay, they're for sure doing Monet and Britt, but I thought Monet and Britt did a really good promo battle a few weeks ago. I've liked everything. I liked that this is where, sometimes I get people maybe overhype her, but Monet got booed that one night really heavily, and then right after, okay, flip me. Doesn't matter, you just sign me. Doesn't matter if I'm like want to be popular. That's why I like that. Okay, right away, she accepted. Even mid-match, she accepted she was a heel in the Willow match. She was looking at the crowd. She was mean mugging them. So I was like, she is smart that way, and I love that they just went, yeah, it wasn't a tweener. It's just, no, she's with the Bucks, like not with them, but she's friends with them. She's a piece of shit heel. She
Her
keeps
and
trying to throw.
Okada.
I swear they did that before even the turn. Like she was talking to the Bucks.
They
like,
did a little bit, yeah.
backstage, yeah. So I feel like it was kind of already they were gonna keep like Britt Baker face anyway.
Yeah. So
I think it's just like I think she was gonna turn heel anyway, even with like the interrupting her debut and stuff.
Then I guess it just worked out that the crowd was already ahead of the curve there and booing her, and maybe they thought that hey, eventually, people are gonna make a turn because you kind of came in, got the title right away. But like Britt is not all. I don't think Britt is the same way as Jamie Hayter, where she can just come in and have like a great match, but she can have the best match to show given the right circumstances. So I think this one. I think there's no middle ground. I think it's going to be a great match, or I think it's going to be a styles clash, and we're all going to be talking about, man, that ended up being like a disappointment. That's what I feel about Britt and Monet. I don't know why. I think they could. It's going to be a high or low situation, but so far, I loved her doing the Sting thing. I liked everything about this. I like that every week they've been doing like a different variation to keep the story moving, and we're not that far. Well, I guess we're still kind of a month from all in, so they still got a bit more to do. I hope they give them one more promo battle before, because I think that's their strengths is on the mic as them talking to each other. So I'm excited for this one. I think Monet keeps it, right? Anyone would think otherwise here?
Yeah, no, it's got to be Monet.
Yeah. Okay, Monet takes that. And then I don't think there's anything officially announced. So the last thing is something with the international title. Let's talk about this MJF Ospreay thing, because this is where it's like, if I don't have Twitter, I'm in a bubble of, I didn't know that there was people thinking it was too long or not like it. Like, to me, this is, Ospreay has done matches like this before. MJF has done multiple matches like this in AEW before. I think even all of us were kind of like in the Discord the second they started. It was like, well, they're probably going to do a longer match. Like, it's the first, if they're not main eventing, it's the first match. So I don't know. I don't know what it was that some people thought it was too long. And I know some people always go,
the thing that I didn't really like about it is like I go with like an Iron Man, like it's meant to be an hour, and like like you kind of have to spread out. And with an Iron Man, you can have like each pinfall is kind of like a big moment in the match. My issue, this is like, it kind of felt like it would have been a good like 30 to 40 minute match, but it felt like there was like some filler in there just to like get it to the 60 minutes. Like when the doctors would come in, that was like, there'd just be a while where they're just like sitting in the corner like talking to the doctors. Like, it felt like they definitely wanted to get it to the 60 minutes, not just for like to say they did it 60 minutes.
Yeah, that doctor
spot, it could have been like a great like 40-minute match or 35-minute match. Yeah. But there were some parts where it just felt like there. Also, the just like inconsistent reffing was kind of annoying.
Yes, I always agree. Yeah, we talk about the Discord. I've never
they literally fought in the crowd for like 10 minutes.
Yes.
And then he was doing a 10 count like a little bit later.
Listen, Tony, crew, all you have to just say is, it's a no DQ match, and then you're done. You're done. You don't even have to use that many weapons or anything like that. Just
15 minutes of referee's discretion.
And like even commentary was like, oh, I guess it's a referee discretion now or something like that. They were just like, they didn't know what was going on.
That's been a problem in AEW since day one. They've done that, and in tag team matches, that's been an issue.
It's definitely just like rule of cool, like, oh, this is gonna be cool. Yeah. And then they don't really think about the other part of it. Like, when we come back, then I guess they could technically just sit on the outside the whole time, so you have to start counting them in.
Yeah. Dave, where were you on MJF versus Ospreay?
I enjoyed the match. Yeah, there were a couple of spots that went a little bit longer. I didn't much mind the length of the injury angles because I felt like it fed into the could MJF win this legitimately because Ospreay is injured. Like, it took away from the, okay, this is going to go to a draw. This is going to go to a draw. Yeah. So adding that injury stuff, adding that, oh, did he separate his shoulder on that bump on the outside of the apron? if this happened, like you have all these different factors at play for both of them being injured in this match, both of them working through their stuff. And then my only real complaint is the whole Tiger Driver thing. At this point, do it or don't.
Just stop going.
Just-
Why?
Yeah, just do it or don't. Like after the Bryan thing, if you said you were retiring, don't keep in every single match. Oh, I want to do it, but my conscience says no. Just do
Also,
it or
it's
don't.
like with Brian, like he never got hurt from it.
He was gone for
Like-
about a couple weeks. You know.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't even gone for like.
He's
like,
gone
he
for
was,
2, I think.
He
2
was
to
in
3.
Anarchy in the Arena like
Yes.
2
Yeah.
weeks later.
So
Well, I think
my
the
thing
idea
is-
is though, if one wrong thing happen though this time, maybe it wouldn't be 2 weeks. Maybe it'd be worse. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so don't keep doing that spot.
Yeah.
I think that if you are in a match that is just you need to do it, then boom, bust it out. You're going to have your press conference after, then use that as an excuse to, oh, we saw you finally bring it out. And he's like, yeah, no, I had
Also,
to.
he
If
was
I
like
wanted to
gonna
win,
do
I
it
had to.
to Swerve. Like it's not one where he like started to do it and then like he stopped. Like to Swerve, he was gonna do it, and I think someone interfered or something like that. I forget what the exact thing was, but like to Swerve, he was like he was gonna do it to Swerve.
I think Don
was
Callis
yelling-
was yelling for
yeah.
him to do it, and that's
Yeah.
what
But
made
then
him
it-
change
then-
his
yeah.
mind.
But he was
And then
like
he just said
yelling at the camera. He was
Stormbreaker.
like Tiger Driver, and he was gonna do it to Swerve. He had no hesitation there.
Which I actually do have a weird I like when he just is like Tiger Driver. It's just like it feels like he's a Power Ranger morphing up. So I'm like, oh, I get excited, but I agree with you guys on the driver spot where I'm kind of over, it, especially in this situation. So he did it on Brian, that was a competition. Didn't want to do it on Swerve because they're friends. In this situation, the last week, he was talking about what a piece of shit MJF was. If any, I'm not saying you should end the guy's career, but it's like if I could see a character slipping and doing it, it could be like, well, this guy's a piece of shit. He beat up, he benched Garcia, right? I could see you using that reason of like, hey,
didn't try to help Garcia.
well, yeah, he came out eventually. You know, he was tired, but he got out there. But I could see that being a reason of, hey, in the moment, I was just so pissed at this guy. I did it. I shouldn't have done it, but I did it. So I agree with you in that. With MJF, it didn't fit. I'm fine with him doing that with the. He does do it maybe too much, but I'm fine with him doing that with the baby faces because it's like, yeah, do I really want to maybe end this guy right here? No, but MJF, it's like he's supposed to be like the worst of the worst right now. So it's like you could do it, but no, I really enjoy the match. I'm somebody I always admit like I'm biased because I like longer matches. I grew up watching all those like Sting and Ric Flair's to like when you got the network and after like watching when an hour match was like the norm for a world champion. Like that was what you would do. Like you had to be able to do the Broadways, right? So
Yeah.
I just like it because you have variations. And why I like the doctor spot is it's like the Shawn Michaels Brett spot where Shawn kicks the ring announcer, like because their idea was always we got to have different stuff in the match to give the crowd a break, which I agree with, right? So I like that. I thought they actually had really good chemistry for. I believe it was their first time, right? I don't think they've done anything in the Indies. Maybe something like years and years ago when they were very young, but they've never had a high profile match. That shot of MJF doing the whole I'm smarter than you and Ospreay coming out of nowhere with the hidden blade, that is a fucking top 10, like just a great spot. And that's the thing, like I thought there was a lot of good spots in the match where I think they're both smart guys in wrestling, but in different ways. MJF's very psychology based and Will's very building the match around big spots. So no, like I don't know if I want to say loved because love feels like a very strong word, but like I'm on the teeter of that. I'm very close to that. And I think what I did love though, I love the finish. So many times I'm like, what they don't do enough is they choreograph because even us and myself, I was like, okay, this is going to a draw. I love that someone should win it with just seconds to go. And I love that he did and MJF had to cheat to do it, you know, and it's,
One thing I also see is like, how does the diamond ring like knock people out?
it's a diamond, S-Bobs. You got to hit him with a diamond.
But it's like 1 point.
It should just bleed you. Yeah, it shouldn't like clean
I would
knock
get
you
it
out.
if
But
it staggered them,
yeah.
not like fully go to sleep, but
Stagger
like,
then move.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're like woozy, and then you hit them with a finisher. Like,
Yeah, that's fair. I'd be fine with that. Yeah, I
I
agree.
just think it's funny. It's like this tiny thing that like the referee can sometimes like not even see,
No.
and it just like instantly knocks people out.
Yeah. And I like the whole oxygen gimmick after. Like I think MJF's doing his best. He's going the crowd. He's throwing shit. People. He's doing his best to be like an actual like try to be a heel, and not like the heel like that people don't care about. like just an easy, just okay, this guy's boring. Boo.
Yeah.
Like I think he's trying his best because he knows eventually people are gonna start cheering him again. So I think he's trying to find a way. So no, overall, I was on the positive side, but I also think that even if like S-Bub's like you brought up good points, but I do like I stand by my statement in the Discord. Anyone giving this like a 4 or lower out of 10, you can just fuck right off like that. Like there's no way.
You're just some hater at that
Yeah,
point.
I can even justify someone being like a 6, maybe like a 5, but to fail this, it's like there's no way. At that point, you're just like you got something in your system, which we see it all the time, right? Because I'm still the guy that even like for the Jay versus Jimmy thing, I'm still the guy like there's still so much worse out there. So for these guys to do like 59 minutes, all these spots, like, and even then, I forgot to mention like it was impromptu. Love the little girl spot. That was a fun like the little girl beat him up. I love that MJF's like giving her the middle finger while it's happening. Like that's fun, like a fun stuff. So that's why again I would just say I agree that was 100% just no DQ. Make some sort of rule, like something where it's just this doesn't matter because if you're not gonna call like worry about it, then you kind of put the integrity of the match somewhere up. And I'm fine if it's like a special guest ref because you can be like, oh, this guy's a fucking idiot. He's not a referee. Like he forgot to count to 10 or whatever. But
you just have to create some kind of special like AEW house rules for some kind of match.
Or just like, even Ospreay the week before. I don't want any count out. No, I want to beat you. Like, it's so easy. Like, because to me, there's a difference between a no DQ match to a Texas death match or a barbed wire, whatever. Like when you got that big like last man standing, that's what I'm expecting. Okay, I see tables, this that.
That's
to
like
me,
in W2K, depending what game mode you pick, there's different stuff under the ring. Like
exactly.
if you do no DQ, it's like like kendo sticks and chairs and like tables. If you do like no holds bar, then you've got like the trash can and the door and the barbed wire bat and the glass tubes and stuff.
Yes,
so
to me
like
there's levels to it.
Yeah.
And I get what people might say. They might go, well, they did that, so MJF could hit him with the ring and say they cheated. You could do that same match with like kind of no like fight in the arena, and they just both don't use weapons, and you can still have Ospreay say, hey, he needed the ring to beat me. Even if they didn't do low blows, weapons still, even if it's not technically cheating, you couldn't beat me alone. You needed an object, and that's why you could do it all in. Then you do the whole, okay, now we're using rules. The match is shorter because there is like tricks and everything. And I just don't think you needed just AW house rules, no DQ, something, anything, you know?
I will say that I like the ending of the match. So with the pin/timer thing, they paused for a minute and it made you wonder, okay, did time expire or was that a pin? Like
it was
what
good,
was
yes.
it?
Because I was worried they did fuck up. And I was like, is this a Damian Priest situation thing again where the ref wasn't supposed to count and now MJF's the international champ? So I agree with you. That was really well done.
I was like, and then you have Justin Roberts doing a slow.
Yeah, he's paused.
And
yeah.
I was like, okay, that was a good way to end it and then have you suspenseful as to what they're doing with this. And then, sliding the belt to him, getting the oxygen mask on him.
Easy dub. I love that. Easy dub.
That was like in NXT, they had the Iron Survivor match last year with the comeback where like Trick won with like 0, like 1 second
That was
left.
fantastic. Yeah.
That Iron Survivor match is such a good match type. Like I get why they do it. It's special because they do it like once a year, but that's like one of my favorite. It's like
you could do it twice a year. I would take it twice a year.
It's like a Rumble and an Iron Man together because you have like the people coming in, and then also when they get put into like the cage, that's some like fun stuff. Like I forget. I think in the women's match they knocked the roof off the cage, and then like Tiffany did like a swanton off of it.
Yes.
And then in that one with like Braun and Trick like running wild, they sent everyone else into the cage, so they were just like all punching each other in there until they like destroyed the sides of the walls, and then once they all get loose, the ref just like doesn't know what to do, which also makes it fun. That's such a good match type.
And like
they should just steal it. AEW should just steal that and just call something different.
Well, they got the gauntlet now, right? That's kind of their version. Like it's not the same, but like that's what I was gonna say. Like AEW does the gauntlet multiple times a year. Like just do Iron Survivor, like even twice. You know, like just for different things. But what I was gonna ask, so where does this lead for MJF Ospreay and Garcia, because the idea was, okay, it's going to be Ospreay and MJF at all, and they didn't do that. Is it just a rematch? Is it MJF Garcia? Is it a triple threat? What are they going
to
to
do?
do?
You have to have Ospreay win it back at Wembley.
At Wembley, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just
So
him and MJF straight
MJF
up?
Garcia beforehand,
Maybe
and then
Garcia somehow shows up, like MJF's going for the ring and Garcia takes it off of him.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh, he couldn't beat him without the ring or something. Like I don't know. I feel like you have Garcia involved in some way, unless he is just legitimately being written off because his contract's coming up.
Yeah, which I'm fine with. If his contract's up and he might leave, then yeah, you don't need to bring him back. Like that's a fine. He had a great match and MJF killed him. That's
I
a
think
fine
it's
like ending.
supposedly October, I think, is the
Okay,
contract.
so he's still got some time. Yeah, I guess that might be because I was gonna say I don't want Garcia just to come back and lose to MJF and then he goes on to Ospreay, but the contract thing that is tricky.
I don't know if he's like it feels like he's a big AEW guy.
Yeah, well, we thought about
Like-
Cody as Bubs back then, and I would have at one point said Cody was never going back to WWE, and I think he is a AEW guy, but it's just I think it comes down to money, and it just comes down to like, look at Stephanie Fakir, right? Wasn't on WWE's radar at all, and then she wrestles Monet, and then they're like, "That's great." Same thing.
Yeah.
What does Triple H and
She
company
had
feel about
She had
Garcia?
a tryout in like 2018.
Yeah, and really nothing, right? And that's where it's like, so what does Triple H and company feel about Garcia? Do they look at him and they go, "Man, we could really use this guy," or they go, "Okay, like he's a good
205
wrestler."
Live legend,
Yeah,
Danny Garcia.
yeah, we're gonna get him back. Like, or do they look and be like, "Yeah, we'd like to have him, but we're not gonna fight hard for him." But what? They re-signed Natalia. They got the Guns. I think there was another. They got Fakir. That was a big one because we didn't talk about Forbidden Door, but she had. I think her and Monet had a really, really good match. And Monet, like that was the rumor, right? That we're going around backstage. She said she wanted to make her. Well, she did fucking make her because she made her name, and then WWE scooped her right up. So that's.
Julia supposedly is that AEW never wanted her. Is the rumor like?
I don't
it's
believe
because
that.
she's unsafe.
That-
That's the rumor.
Oh,
that
Julia, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I think there's more politics stuff there too.
Yeah,
With
I
have
think
to
that's
do with
pushing like, oh yeah, we didn't want her anyway.
she's unsafe. Yeah. So, and that's the thing where those are good signings. So it wouldn't surprise me. Maybe there is like a because Garcia I think can do great anywhere. Legitimately, all that entertainment stuff with the dancing, it did help him because before he was just a wrestler guy. So that was a case where somehow the Jericho stuff did help him. The whole being a sports entertainer, that did work. So I could see him. He's like Hook. I could see him go either way. I do think Hook needs to get out of there. I think Hook actually will be better in WWE because
he got fireballed by Jericho.
yeah, he's done. But at the same time, I think that is bad management for Tony too to lose Hook and Garcia, some homegrown young talent from AEW has been there from year 2, like 1 to 3. Like those are the OGs.
How old is Hook? Like probably like.
I think
same
he's
age
like
as Garcia,
24 or
but-
something like
yeah.
that. Like he's still pretty young to be where he is.
That's what
So
I'm saying. Like, if they technically, like, I could see them re-signing and then,
yeah,
like,
Hook
Later
is
on.
if you
25
just
years
have
old.
that, like,
yeah,
yeah, if you're still like, they're still popular and in AEW, like, you could stay there for unless they just want to jump immediately for other reasons. But I
well,
think,
WWE's hot, right?
yeah.
Too. That could be it. It's the big show right now. So and maybe they're throwing good money out. So because who knows in a few years, like if AEW's doing great again, it's great. But if it's doing lesser, then they have less money. It's like, oh, I missed my chance to get even bigger contract. So we'll see. So yeah, MJF Ospreay 2. Ospreay would just win. I think we all kind of feel. I would still. I'm fine with triple threat at some point, but you're probably right. It's just that they'll get Ospreay the big win at Wembley. So yeah.
You'll have one day you'll have a all AEW match for the NXT. You'll have Sean Spears versus Ethan Page versus Hook versus Danny Garcia
Yeah.
for the NXT title.
And Garcia will fucking lose as always. He's big job squad guy. But yeah, so speaking of NXT, we had Heatwave, which that happened during the last pay-per-view, which just destroyed, which I still have shamefully not gone around to watch it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch for the next one because I like to be able to try and sit down and watch the whole show. I've seen some clips, but I want to watch the whole thing when people say enough good show. So I will see it, but I haven't got a chance to.
It's only like 2
like 2
hours,
hours, right?
20 minutes, something
Yeah.
like that.
So I have some time coming off. So I think one time I'm going to do that, pull up with some snacks and watch that. But I can see the reaction, which is good because David was around the black and gold era, and that was a time where, well, and I saw your tweet of like, oh, they're bringing that back, and like, but that was a situation when, at least back then, though, WWE was like they were pretty rough, but I felt like there was a transition period where it felt like NXT was maybe never gonna get back to this. There was a time where it's just they are like a weird development show now that has some good things, but the fact they can have kind of that, you know, rivalry with the main roster, I think always works. It made those two shows better because I think Triple H will see that with his burner account and be like, oh fuck, I'm gonna make sure SummerSlam's like really good. So I think that's good for them, and I think they've been, you know, lots of heat. I like credit to Ethan Page. Like, there's a guy made that jump. What would you say it was like 41 days to NXT champion? That's massive, and I think that shows. Like, I also think he's not gonna be in NXT long, to be honest. I think Ethan Page, like after WrestleMania season, they might bring him up because I feel like we talked about this before, but he's like a WWE kind of stereotype guy, which is a good thing for him. But I like that, and I think everything they're doing now with Joe Hendry, like the fact that they're treating him as like a big deal, and he's getting wins, like they're making some really right calls down there. And I guess they're, what do you think they're maybe gonna lead? We'll talk about TNA in a second, but I wonder if they're gonna do like a TNA champion. They'll probably do what they did with Grace and Roxanne, right? I think with Paige and Hendry. Like, is that the way we're going? I feel
you could have like you could do like if you do like title for title and there's like a DQ, then both would just keep their title, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like you're building stuff like you could have they're building stuff for both sides really, because Joe Hendry, he's probably gonna have a singles match against one of the Gallus guys, because they had like a backstage segment where they were getting annoyed by like this other Scotsman that's more popular than them, so they were like gonna fight him.
Yeah.
So he'll probably like beat one of them. So if he does win the like TNA title and they have some sort of champion versus champion match, you can probably get like Gallus in there. And then the Rascals save him or something. You have good like TNA connections there. I feel like this could be like an overbooked one. If you have the first ever, or well, no, they had the like I guess first ever men's like champion versus champion for NXT and TNA. You could just have like like very overbooked, just like tons of run-ins and stuff.
Yeah. Well, Moose said that this has been a way more lucrative deal for TNA than it was when they teamed up with AEW. It's been way more giving, and
I don't believe
feels
him, by
like
the way.
Both sides are in a better position. And
when they showed the record of like the TNA guys on AEW and the TNA guys on WWE, it's like almost the exact same record of like the amount of times they win and lose. Like that's the thing. Like TNA.
I think the biggest issue I think people have with it was like with Kenny, like he lost the title to Christian on
that was
like
bad.
AEW TV, and
on
then
Collision.
Christian lost it. Yeah.
Yes.
And then Christian lost it to I don't remember who on Impact.
I agree, that part was mishandled, but they did a lot. It ended up being New Japan issues, but on TNA they started the whole Bullet Club Civil War.
They had like Jay White,
and that at the time was huge. That for them not to do that on AEW New Japan. So it started I'm not saying it's better or worse. I'm just saying that I think right now it's still equivalent because we're still early days to see same thing.
Yeah, it just depends how long because how long would that have been with TNA, that partnership? Like a couple months.
I think it was
right now I'm working on like a video.
Kenny was the
about,
belt
like,
collector for a while. He held that belt for a while, and then Gallows and Anderson were contracted to TNA at the time, but they were coming over to AEW TV as part of that stable.
Let's see here. When did he win? So he had it for 110 days. So he won it in March and then lost it 4 months later. So it was around 4 months, because I feel like when Kenny lost the title or when Christian lost the title, that was kind of the end of it. So they didn't have like a long run with it and everything like that. And I still agree they could have done more. And right now I think WWE is doing a great job. It's always tough too, right? Because they always will show those like Joe Hendry tweet and then some other wrestling tweet like, look at this interaction. It's like, oh, that's being also retweeted by like the WWE account that like has all these followers. So it's like an app comparison. But I get, it was MJF, right? It's like MJF kind of pro. Like, look at this, Joe Hendry versus that. It's like, yeah, Sure, I get that, but also ask Joe Hendry what he's getting paid comparative to MJF, and that's one thing that does suck for Joe a little bit because with Grace, her contract's up in January. She's gone. I'm sorry, TNA, you've lost her. She's like that.
And with Grace also, there's that thing that they were supposedly paying her like I forget how much. Yeah, just for like 3 appearances on NXT. So it's like,
they're
is
treating her
Joe
good.
Hendry also getting paid that?
True, yeah. I hope so, and I hope. Yeah, and they might be, and that'd be good. But with Grace and even with Hendry, we'll have to see. But Hendry, supposedly, his contract sounds like it's still like another 3 to 4 years. So he's gonna be in TNA. But that's where I'm gonna hopefully. I didn't know that show was, so I'm gonna hopefully at least catch some of it. Dave and I think Dave can attest to this. TNA was the master at so many times of something's very hot. How do we like throw a bucket of water on it? And I think that they should just because I think that's you asked us like a month ago or whatever when he got in the match, and then you asked like, where are they gonna put the belt on? I was like, you have to because I don't know who the current champion is, and I know now it's Moose.
I think he got in the match because it's like he fought like a Kazarian and Kazarian cheated. Then he threw him out of the Battle Royal on NXT, and then Joe Hendry beat him clean. I think unless Kazarian is in this match, I already forgot. There's some people. He beat someone else. I guess it's just their rivalry.
Yeah.
And like.
And look, perfect first feud when Joe wins the belt is him and Kazarian, right? Like if you're setting that up.
Plus, all this stuff is taped like so far in advance too.
Yes.
Like this stuff's taped like 4 weeks ago.
Well, that's why while you're live for tonight, when you've seen Joe get this reaction, TNA
They do record the commentary like later because they'll mention the NXT stuff.
Do they? That's weird. Yeah, I get why they do, but that's odd. But I get it. I know someone was gonna give that argument of, you gotta do the chase, but it's just like you can always have him lose and do the chase after. Joe Hendry is like. One of the most popular guys right now. Just put the title on him because then you get that title on NXT too. Like, I just was I got a bad pit stomach in my feeling that it won't be him winning it tonight. And again, I've still not even seen Joe Hendry wrestle. I don't even know because I've seen a lot of tweets like, is he one of those like, but when the bell rings, and I don't know, is he like, is he good in the ring?
He's a solid wrestler.
Level.
Okay. That's fine. I'm fine. LA Knight can put on a great match if given the time. So
he is believable as a TNA world champion, especially considering some people that they've put the belt on before.
Yes.
I wouldn't say he's believable as a competition to Cody Rhodes or anything like that. he's got the charisma, but I mean he's got a look. He can actually wrestle.
He's on the level of an Ethan Page, like if they're doing champion versus champion, like
and that's fine because you always build up. And if that guy does ever come to WWE, like there's nothing wrong with being a very great popular like secondary champion, like what LA Knight's going to be, right? I'm not saying LA Knight should never be world champion, but there's many people that were just like Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, like he didn't need to be world champion. He's just a fantastic IC champion. Miz has done that before. Cody did that when he brought back the classics. That like you can make that role something. So it's the same thing of just with him. I just think they should just strap him. He's over. He's because I've seen those memes of like.
Can you guys tell me who are the 6 people in this match?
Okay, I'm gonna guess.
I actually can tell you because I do follow TNA, and this is the match
Let me try
that we were talking about earlier.
Okay. So I know it's Moose and then Joe, and I'm gonna guess Kaz is in there, right? Kazarian.
Yeah.
Okay. Is Nick Nemeth in there?
Yeah.
Okay. So I got 2 more. Can I get a hint? Are any of the last 2 former WWE guys?
Yes.
Okay.
One of them.
Oh, is it Hardy? Matt Hardy?
No.
No. Okay. What is Matt doing anyways over there right now?
Jeff got written off because I think he might not be able to go to Canada.
He got written off? Oh, right.
Yeah.
He just got there. What the fuck's happening?
Literally their first match back as the Hardys. Like I think they won, and then like Jeff got beaten up and written off. So it's just Matt against JD. What's his name? He was Fandango.
He's in TNA now. Fandango is okay. I was gonna
because they're like in a faction. That's like Moose's faction.
Okay,
they're
is
like
Eric Young in this 6-pack challenge?
No.
No.
Oh, who is this other former WWE guy? Because I've seen the graphic on Twitter of all 6 of them together. Oh,
I didn't actually know this is a former WWE guy.
Benjamin's
former
nodding.
NXT guy. I will
Yeah,
narrow
that's
it.
fine.
Former NXT person.
Okay, no, tell me. I can't get those last two.
Steve Macklin,
Okay.
who was Steve Cutler,
Yeah,
Forgotten
okay.
Sons,
Yeah, right. The
And-
Forgotten Sons, right.
and Josh Alexander.
Oh, I forgot about Alexander.
Now
Damn
there
it.
is a rumor floating around that either Steve Macklin or Josh Alexander could be taken out of this match and replaced by AJ Styles.
Why?
I hadn't seen that.
Where does this rumor come from, David? Don't get me excited that way. That's
So it started with Jordan Grace saying that there's going to be
Right,
some
you were saying this
big
before.
surprises,
this is what we were
and-
talking about before we went on air, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
You're getting a
And-
recreation, yeah.
including some stuff that has to do with their current crossovers.
I think she mentioned like NXT and TNA specifically.
So with him being Mr. TNA, basically being in this match to help get over the world championship.
Well, to
But
me,
is-
though, if
but is
AJ's
there
in the
a rumor
match,
of AJ specifically, or is this just people taking like?
This
she's
is
saying
like
it's gonna
fan
be
theory,
surprises,
yeah.
let's
I'm
put it
going
AJ
to have
specifically.
to look and see who said it. It was someone semi-reputable, like it was a name I recognized who mentioned AJ being the
Okay.
person that is
So-
appearing.
I won't get too excited. The same way everybody got me way fucking too excited for AJ Lee last month. I'm done with it. I said in the Discord, I'm done. AJ Lee's retired and never wrestling again. So then when she comes in, I'll be actually surprised. Because every 2 months, Big E says something. Bailey tweets something. Oh, Corey Jade posted this. And it doesn't fucking happen. And then it smash cut to AJ Lee on the red carpet being like, I'm working on 10 projects. I'm really busy right now. So I'm done with the fucking AJ Lee. Oh, it's going to happen. This means something. So same thing as tonight. I will not expect AJ, but that would be good. Even though I do have maybe it's wrong of me to think that. I would think AJ, if he's in that match, would need to win that match, in my opinion. Because I feel like that would be fun. He's talking about he wants to be a world champion one more time before he retires. That'd be good. And then what I would love is like, I don't know. I guess that's the same. I was gonna just AW them. I was gonna say I'd love AJ to lose it on NXT TV, but that's the problem I would have with I think the AW pitch was supposed to be that they lost it on Big TV, but my pitch is don't have Christian beat Kenny, have a TNA guy beat him. That's my pitch to make a difference is make AJ lose it on WTV, big profile, but have it be an NXT guy. Have it be Joe Hendry then, because he's getting the profile in NXT. That's what you do is do an NXT main event. I know it might be weird, but AJ Styles, Joe Hendry, and that's where Joe gets the win. I know it might be odd, but that's where at least you get eyes on people. But yeah, Alexander, I'm surprised he's not done anything in NXT yet. I guess because he's not like memeable, but like he's a great wrestler. I want to see him over here working with some people. So, but he's another
This is
guy. He
also
only has 1 year
an,
left on his contract. So,
This is also an elimination match.
oh, awesome! I love that. So yeah, you couldn't do. That's why AJ, if he was in, would have to win because you can't do the cheap like he wasn't a part of the pin and everything like that. Okay, so elimination 6-pack challenge.
That's why Ziggler doing his 2000 the Survivor Series performance
right,
that people
yeah.
always post.
Yeah, man. I was at one point I was one of the biggest Dolph Ziggler stans in the world, man. I fucking loved Dolph. Like 2010 to 2012 Dolph Ziggler, man. He was the guy. That cash and everything. That was like he was just the best. And then yeah, a lot of stuff happened.
Every match but one on this card has a former WWE person in there.
Just like the old TNA days. That's my TNA. TNA wins again.
You got
One of
Nick
those 4 out of
Nemeth
6
and
people
Steve
named
Macklin
WWE.
in the world title match.
Yeah.
You got Ash by Elegance in the Knockouts title match. You have Mustafa Ali, X Division Championship.
Who's he wrestling? Isn't it a good
match.
match? He has?
Mike Bailey.
Oh, Mike Bailey.
Okay,
It'd be
yeah.
good.
I know people.
You have
been
AJ
talking
Francis in the
There's a title
TNA
for
Digital
title match.
Media match. Yeah.
about it. Who's he person? They gotta take that off.
PCO.
PCO.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You have the System in the World Tag Team Title match. So that's Brian Myers. You have the Rascals versus No Quarter Catch Crew. That's all
Yeah.
4 out of 6.
T in
NXT
NXT.
guys.
Matt Hardy has the match on there. So the only match that doesn't involve someone previously with WWE is Santana versus Jake something.
Jake something. Yeah.
There's also 3 pre-show matches here.
Yeah. And I'm fine with that because it's the same way as that's going to happen that I hope with WWE, that when you get to points where, oh, look at all these AEW guys, right? Like when you get the Ethan Pages and everybody, it's like, that's the way it should be in like it should be like not exactly, it can't work like a sports team, but it should be like that where, okay, they're over here now doing this and I'm interested to see that, you know. TNA, there was a situation where, because the difference there is I feel like they still got lots of like Joe Hendry, Josh Alexander. At one point TNA was like nothing but just former WWE guys, and that's when it was like really bad. It was like Sting, AJ, and then Joe, and then like just Booker T, Scott Steiner, Kevin Nash, Kurt Angle. Like it was just all WWE guys. So yeah, no, I might try the show. What does it start? Does it start 5? I'm guessing tonight.
Yeah, I think 5
Usual pay-per-view time. Okay, I might try to put it on. I got a birthday to go to later on, so I actually might miss the main event. So maybe we'll see, but I'll try to watch that because see what happens there. So yeah, I'm pulling for TNA. I always am. I don't know I don't know what are they even on nowadays?
Access TV. It's
I don't
like
even know
a nothing network.
I don't even think you can watch that in Canada. Let me even see.
I think it has. It's like even in the U.S., no one has it. Like I think the people who watch it on like the TNA app, because even like the channel, it's like no one has this Access TV.
Oh,
and
okay,
that's
they're
like
on the Zone for me here, where I watch NFL. They're on the Zone.
There's like a rumor that because I started listening to like this like TNA specific podcast, and they're saying because like there's this like with the new leadership, I think whoever the new people in charge
who
are
took over for
say they want to look for like a new TV deal on like some like. They say like the guy was saying like they use the term major network, but that can really mean any televised network.
Yeah.
As long as they say really anything is better than Access TV because just no one has this channel. And I think they get like 0.001 demo or something like that, weekly, because it's just like literally no one has this channel.
I think they'd be. It's good to get on TV.
They're looking for like any channel, even if it's like CBS Sports 2, like that's better than what they already are on.
That's true. It is better. I just wonder. At one point, I think they were doing Twitch, but I almost wonder sometimes it's just better to try and like just try a couple months just on YouTube. I don't know, something somewhere like just do the shows live.
I think you
from
can
YouTube
you can get like I think you can pay like $5 a month or something like that, like on YouTube, and they stream it on YouTube.
Okay, yeah.
They have like some subscription or something like that, like through YouTube.
Yeah, I know. I guess they got PayTown and everything, so they need those, right? But yeah, for me, I guess you're right. Major can be anything, but it's like, especially right now, any bigger network.
Like the TNA app is like made by Endeavor or like owned
yes,
by
it is.
Endeavor.
Yeah. Well, and that's the tough thing right now because with AEW, if Warner Brothers falls through and they're looking for a new deal, they're gonna get the bigger network first and. Who knows? Because it's a weird thing where AEW is starting to stream on Max, but not everywhere. So people did say don't take that as a sign like this is a for sure re-sign or anything. So as I've said before, I hope they just stay with WB because they had a good relationship. They have fucking titles named after those channels. I hope that's the way they stay because I also just don't know. USA is not going to get in the AEW business. Fox isn't going to be because they were disappointed with the SmackDown ratings. Who else is out there right now? Who's
Sci-Fi?
Yeah,
Sci-Fi's hosting NXT. Which show? I think like Great American Bash is like gonna be on Sci-Fi or something. Because I think it's like Olympics stuff on US.
It's a possibility.
The international version of Max is putting up a lot of AEW content. So I mean, hopefully that's a good sign that there's going to be some more, including maybe a pay-per-view deal through Max.
That's the bet. That's what they need to do to get more eyes on the product. I think the dream scenario is they re-sign with Warner Brothers, they stay on TV, TBS and TNT, because I actually don't think there's any bigger channels they can go to that wants wrestling or doesn't already have wrestling, and then they make it that, hey, you can buy the pay-per-view. If you don't want to buy the pay-per-view, you can get Max. But who knows, because Warner Brothers is a mess right now. Like, this is more like Geek versus Geek TV related stuff, but there's that rumor that they're going to split the company into so it's just like, that's the other thing where it's like
Time Warner.
Yeah, so it's just like I have no fucking clue. And I could see Tony and the whole company being like, we want to stay
'Cause
here,
then
but
if
it's
you
also
split the money like 50-50 between these two sides of the company.
Yeah,
means
and that's why
they
it's
have
just
even less to work with. If
this
they're
thing's in
putting
a
all
sham.
and that those the rumors like they're trying to put all the debt, like they're splitting it so they can put all the
Yeah.
debt onto the like streaming side of it.
Yeah, and that's where it's just like that might not be a good relationship for them too. So I don't know what's gonna happen
WB
there.
going to WB.
Oh yeah, and then a couple of years they'll get bought out, and then we'll see. So yeah, so like we said, you guys want to talk about the Japan matches quickly?
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
You can start with the AG one since you also saw it.
Yeah, the AJ Wrestling and Noah was a good match. It was a very much a return to form for AJ, and he's been putting on great. Like his stuff with Cody was great. And
He saw those
so,
tweets. He saw those AJ's cooked or what was the expression?
He's
What is
washed.
it? He's washed,
Yeah.
right? He's washed. He saw them.
And him versus Marufuji though was an absolutely
Was good.
incredible match. I mean, and like he's been putting on muscle, but he was still athletic in this match, and he just like they went for it, and I'm like, yes, give me more of this AJ.
Yeah, no, I also really liked it. I thought there were some parts of it I think it started off like a bit slow, but as I really got into it, I thought they had some great sequences, like really fast paced, like counters and dodging stuff, which I thought was really cool, and it's a cool like environment too, and they even got a son like jumping off the rail and stuff like that. And like he takes like a neck breaker like onto that one was nasty. Like he like gets like put all the way back, like there's like the rail here and his neck is like right on it, and he just like neck breaker off of it.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that was a really good one. And
Yeah,
I saw
Marufuji is escaping a Styles clash only to still get hit, and yeah, it was pretty dope. And I mean, they went for over 25 minutes, I think close to 30. Like it was a solid match.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it was like 30 with the entrances and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I also saw the marigold ones.
Yeah.
Those ones were hard to come by until like someone posted them on Twitter. I was trying to look for those. And
Yeah, because how do you even watch Marigold? And
It's
Yeah,
like
someone just
apparently-
randomly posted the whole
no,
Io
it's
Sky
like-
here's
one.
the full match.
people say like the app that it's on is like the best app for like Japanese.
Okay.
It's called like Wrestle Universe or something like that, and it's only like it's like $5 and you get like 25 different promotions or something. Like people always post like people are fans of that, say it's like the best app for it. But it's on there, and I saw the Io Sky versus. Let me see her exact name because I forgot.
Yeah, I heard it was good as well, and that
Okay.
was fun for them to do because Io can. And she said those comments which everyone took out and been like, oh, she hates WWE of like it's good to like wrestle this type of match because it's just again it's a style thing. It's just in WWE that you do like you get to wrestle those sometimes big, longer, epic matches, but there's a lot of entertainment matches. I don't think she's sitting there being like, fuck, I can't wait to go back to my roots.
No,
Like I'm
yeah.
sure she's happy making a lot of money, doing good stuff.
I saw that one. That one was a lot of fun. I think that was my favorite one of like the three, including the Julia one. Just like some really cool like counter sequences and stuff like that. And I think she ended the match with just like it was like a tombstone and then the over the moon salt.
I saw that. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Which that's I love when people aren't in WWE. Like the tombstone gets spammed so much. Like in AEW, it's just like it's gonna soon be
People
the new
always
super
post
kick.
that one, like MJF hits Sammy Guevara with the avalanche tombstone and then he
Yes.
kicks out.
Yeah, Undertaker's somewhere just rolling over his grave. No pun intended, but yeah, it's one of those things. So.
And
Which
yeah,
I loved AJ on Twitter when they're trying to like get him to like come at Ospreay for some reason. Like, oh, he's using your move, and like, I don't give a fuck. Like, as long as it's like it's not just being spammed. Then I can't remember who set him up. He's like, yeah, like Sweet Chin Music, which is like, yeah, that's something where but
I saw someone's response saying, "Oh man, I can't wait till someone sees a Jake Roberts DDT."
Oh yeah, that was the original one. The DDT used to be a you're done. Like that was like a non-kick out brutal finisher. Now that's just a transition move. That's just and you can't make a super kick a finish. You can't make a DDT a finish. A regular splash, like the Usos still do it, but it's like they're like the only ones that can still do a splash because so many people are just coming off the top rope with a splash. So.
Who else? I know some people at NXT have like some like random like there was a while like Jada Parker, like when they were building her up, like every week she would just have like a new just like boring finish. Like she won with like a clothesline or like a suplex.
Like the elevated suplex, like where she like holds them and stuff. Yeah.
But what else? Oh yeah,
just
and
stick with this like the Beth Phoenix Slam, you know.
Yeah, and they had then also there's the Julia and Suri match, which was that one was also cool. Some like instant crowd brawling like 3 minutes in, and like I don't know what the rules for this match were. I think it was just a normal match, but they were like throwing chairs at each other.
In Japan, there's
the
no
international 20 count that they keep mentioning.
There's a 20 count, and there's usually no disqualification in New Japan match. They say you don't want to use weapons, but that was something when I started watching New Japan again. It would be random, where it'd be a regular 30-minute match, and all of a sudden Kenny's just putting someone through a table, and it's fine. Like the ref's just like, good. Then you're like, okay, I guess then New Japan. And I think that's why AEW does that, because I think they're like, well, we're like them, but it's like, yeah, but then sometimes you guys are doing DQ finishes and everything, so like you can't. I can't recall, and I'm not watching as much currently, but in my time when I was watching New Japan a lot, I don't recall like a DQ finish. I might recall like someone in storyline being hurt and they call it off for some like weapon or something, but I don't think they do those. So I wish AEW would just do that and say, okay, we're just not going to do DQs anymore. Just in general, you know, it's just that's not a thing. But then you can't get out of Swerve and Okada. You gotta find a way. So
also in this Julia match, there were like a bunch of people at ringside that were just like Marigold officials or like trainees or something. I don't really know what the deal was there. They were just like do the thing where they hit the ring to get the crowd to clap, and like anytime either one of them would go down, they would just like give them like ice packs and water, just like at ringside, which I thought was funny. But I don't know what their involvement was there.
I know in New Japan they do that with the young boys, where they have them at the ringside. They do the hype up. They have the water. They have the ice packs, and that's part of their whole training system. Is they do the setup of the ring. They do the cleaning up of the messes like between the matches and everything else. That's part of the whole Young Lions system that New Japan has. That's what they call their young boy system, is the Young Lions. That's part of their whole training, is they come out in the Lions Mark shirt, and then when they will get to like wrestle before the actual event, it's always black trunks and black shoes. Like they have no identifiable markings. It's just, here's your chance to do this. And afterwards,
Jay White did
basically, the ring crew.
And then when he came back as a Switchblade, everyone was like, who the fuck is this guy? And then there's
went on excursion and came back as Switchblade. People like, oh.
And then there's, you'll remember his name. I always forget his name, David. Who's the guy that was Moxley's young lion, and he's a wrestler now? Shuda, yeah. I'm excited for that one day when they kind of, because they've not really had that. They got to have some big feud and everything. And I don't even know where the fuck Moxley is. He lost the title and he's just been gone for weeks now. So he's just maybe he's finally getting those vacation.
I think he was just at home. Yeah.
Yeah. He you know what? I'll take that back. He's deserved it. This guy had like 3 vacations in a row canceled because CM Punk was busy fighting with somebody backstage. Like, I guess I'll stay here. So Moxley deserves some time off.
And Shota, who was Shooter, he's doing great in New Japan.
That's what I hear. Yeah.
Yeah, he's had a couple of high-profile matches. I think he had a good one against Gabriel Kidd. He's been, and I believe he's in the G1 this year, which started yesterday, I want to say.
Yeah, I want to try and watch, especially, I cannot wait to see Takeshita in all the G1. I think he's going to have a really, really good run there, and I can't wait there. And hopefully that'll, help some of the political stuff, because it was weird that he didn't get a match with Moxley. So him becoming more of a New Japan guy, especially when New Japan needs some talent.
Now New Japan's gonna get the revenge by poaching him from
Takeshita. Yeah, I could see that. And I think unfortunately for him, I think he is an AEW New Japan guy. I don't think WWE doesn't do the best with Japanese male wrestlers, and I just and Takeshita, he's just. That guy can go, so I cannot wait to see. I don't think I'll watch all the G1s. I remember the early days when Kenny was like become big. Watching all those G1s, that is S-Bubs. If you ever 1 year pick it, and that is a sprint to watch like the 40 matches in a month. But it is when you're invested, it is fun to see the rankings and everything. It's a good time, and I wish the States did. I guess Tony tried with the Continental Classic. When the last point for and when. God, when did that happen? When is that coming up, the Continental Classic?
Because they said the final was like at World's End.
That was in December,
I guess
right?
Through like November, December.
So I guess fall that'll be starting up. Okay, so yeah, no, 'cause I like the point-based tournaments. So fall that'll be starting up, and again, we're still unclear.
They sent some NXT people to like the Noah one, like the N1. Like
yes, they did.
G1,
Yeah. No, we just need Nick Khan and Tony Khan to bump into each other, a couple drinks, and you never know what could happen. You know, probably not, as they've both taken some bad shots at each other and contract tampered. But you know, a guy can dream, and probably what would be though would be fucking just Chris Jericho come back to WWE to verse like Cody in a match. You know, it would be some shit like that. They'd be like, we really want. It's just like I'm not sure. Did you ever hear S-Bubs quickly the story of? When Christian was in when he went back to WWE when he went to TNA for one night only.
No.
So what happened? The trade. So WWE wanted to induct the Four Horsemen, but they need Ric Flair. So they went to TNA and Dixie Carter, and they said, "We'll make you a deal. We'll do Ric Flair." And I think they said, other than John Cena, anybody was on the board for TNA to have for one night. And Dixie Carter picked Christian, and the reasoning was, well, because he's been here before. And they're like, okay, we'll give you Christian. But they could have had fucking Randy Orton and Tina. And this is prime, like 2009. Like,
here you go.
They could have had anybody except they said Cena. Bruce Prichard said Cena, and maybe like a couple other legends, like Undertaker, of course. But like other than the tippy top people, like for the main roster, it's just Cena, and you could have had anybody, and they could have had CM Punk, who was still like starting to get hot at that time. They had anybody, like, yeah, we want Christian because he's been here before. And that's what he did.
Was already on TNA.
Yeah, exactly. Just that. Oh, he's been here before. So that's where I laughed. He would do something like that. Like, yeah, we want Jericho. He's been here before.
We're choosing a former world champion, Christian Cage.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when when they induct the Shield to the Hall of Fame. They'll give him somebody.
Yeah, they'll give him Cody. Oh, it's been a while here. I've always said I would love a one night Cody Rhodes back in AEW, because now
you're like full heel saying the other place.
Yeah, like better. He hates his place. Yeah, like I talk about, I want some person. I've always like my new pitches. I want someone to get released from WWE. And then go to AEW, but their gimmick is like, I'm only here to get back there. I hate this fucking place. I'm slumming it. Like, I think there's tons of money for that to be made. And yeah, I would love it if Cody did that for one night. Like, you want me to be a heel? Here I am. But no, I want someone to do that gimmick. I want someone to get released and be like, I used to be in Connecticut. I used to be around all these people, Grateful fans. You guys suck. Like
Jinder Mahal's new gimmick.
Yeah, that's what I
I'm
thought.
just here to get back to Connecticut. That's all they have to say.
Yeah, it's right. The Maharaj. Yeah, that's what I wanted. If Drew did leave WWE, that's what I wanted him to do when he got back. Is like, oh, I'm better than all these places. I've proved it before, but. No, I would love to see Cody back for just one night. Just as so much has changed. Just to cut a promo, not even wrestle. Just cut a promo, because at one point I thought, oh, he'll go WWE for a bit, and AEW is kind of like his home. And yeah, lastly, Dave, you brought those comments. I'm like, not his home, but like one of his homes he built to go back. Now it's like, oh yeah, he's never going back like full time ever. Like that, he is where he is, and now. You never know, because there's this quote that Brian Danielson, whoever the fuck he is, said a couple of years ago, where he says he loves the lie because Cody Rhodes taught him what a good lie is.
Yeah.
So I never know with Cody when he's like, oh, it was really bad. Like, I never know how much is this bad? Is it really bad, or is he like bringing up the same way for 2 years?
What Cody said about his lies, that he doesn't lie about stuff that's serious. He says he only exaggerates like the jokes and stuff.
That's
like the Ted DiBiase stories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or his
said, like,
running
Cody,
feud with R-Truth.
Yeah, he said like the Cody lies, he'll only like exaggerate and make stuff about stuff that's like banter.
Yeah, and that was odd because they left. They chose the unlike Punk and Tony route. They chose that we're just gonna be friends, you're respectful. They've both said good things. And even then, like what Cody said wasn't that bad. Just someone write a book and it was bad. But it's interesting because for the past years, it's been like, no, it wasn't bad. I just want to leave. To like, oh yeah, there was some stuff, but I still want to go and be champion. To like, oh, it was bad. I still will always contend it's probably something with Brandy. That's what I think it is because I feel like that's what would get Cody really worked up, and I feel like stuff with him wouldn't as much. I think there was some bad creative, but I don't think Cody's gonna get mad over bad creative. And sure, it'll come out one day. Cody says he might write a book, so maybe that's when we'll get it. But I think there's part of him that still doesn't want to do it because I think he kind of knows that like he doesn't want AEW to completely die, and if he's part of the like putting gasoline on that fire if something they did, he knows that like that could hurt them, that could hurt people's jobs. So I think he'd either rather tell that story when the company's like on Access TV and they got nothing going on, or if they're like back to being big and it's like, oh, I can tell the story because like they're really successful right now, doesn't matter. So I don't know, it was interesting that he said that though. So
yeah, I think that whatever the case is going to be, I have a feeling it does have to do with Brandy feeling disrespected in some way, because I don't think that Cody would just up and leave for like nonsense. If it was just, oh, I don't like the booking or whatever else, I don't think that would be a reason for him to leave something that he built.
To like whatever like executive position Brandy was like didn't exist.
Chief brand officer.
Yeah, it doesn't exist anymore.
Doesn't exist.
Yeah. I don't think he was leaving because Punk told him not to use real fire or something like that. I think I trust Cody.
Crimea River.
Well, at the same point, though, I still think now, with however they went, we don't know how it would have went, but I still think when you've seen about how much he talks about his passion about WWE, I think he was bound to go back no matter what now. Where he was smart in AEW. He was very raw, screwed up. Like, he was outside Raw with a megaphone talking about shit to the company, like he is. That's one thing I'll say. Cody's a smart business guy, and here's the thing. Let's say if something happened in the next year and Cody felt slighted, he'd go back to AEW and he would do the exact same thing again. He would not shit on WWE, but he would take those sly shots. He would say, oh yeah, it was really bad or stuff like that. We're not going to get to that place, but Cody is like he's smart to go, and Punk's the same way. Look at all Punk's AEW comments. Like, if you look at his comments and take them as face fact, he's the most hypocritical wrestler of all time. He spent an entire year roasting WWE, and now when he gets there, oh no, it's changed. It's the best there ever was. It's like there's still a bunch of people working there. He literally went to William Regal in a locker room and was like, I don't trust you. You're a Triple H plant, and now he works with that guy all the time. So it's just, that's pro wrestling. But
main eventing night one of a
buy two get one free pay-per-view. Or he made it sound like if MJF goes to WWE, you're a pathetic wrestler. And then what did he do? But that's what you do. MJF will do the same thing. When he goes there, he'll get a fucking WWE tattoo on his other leg and he'll be good to go. So, but we will be back after SummerSlam. That'll probably be the main show, just talking about that. If there's any few matches added to All In, we'll probably talk about those, and if there's any free agents to them, but probably because it'll be a bigger show. Like I said, the next day or two after, we'll figure out a day and we'll announce that, but we'll talk about SummerSlam, see, Family Clay, see how long can they actually string along the promise of Roman comes back. There is no promise, though. That's one thing I'll say.
They technically never said anything.
WWE fans are like comic book and cameo fans. It's like we work ourselves up where it's just rumor and innuendo. There's been nobody saying, hey, so-and-so's in Deadpool and Wolverine. Even let's just say Tobey Maguire. No one says that. But there's a bunch of people being like, well, because Deadpool in the news trailer goes pew, 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 pew. I bet, or even Multiverse of Madness, right?
Sam Raimi's... Multiverse of Madness, people had, the graphics, like, oh, yeah.
Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire.
Storm,
exactly,
Nick
right?
Cage as Ghost Rider. He's going to be in it.
So, I don't think it's the promise yet, but I get what you mean as far as they are teasing it, but I think that's what they're doing. They're teasing it, and then it's going to happen, and then hopefully it'll lead to some good stories. It might not even happen at SummerSlam, because I think Survivor Series is the goal, so it might be the start of it, but... Again, Roman's still going to be a part-time guy. He's going to be there, WrestleMania, and then gone. It's not like I see people being like, I can't wait till he's back and he's going to do this run. It's like, yeah, his run's going to be 4 weeks and then he's gone again. Like, those are his runs are sprints, and I'm fine with it. Do whatever. But it's like, he's going to do what he did before. He's going to come back for the big money matches and leave. So it's like, it's not the answer. That's why I'm very happy Cody is champ, and I like that the champ's there all the time. So
I was gonna say I can do a quick draft.
oh
update
yes,
here
yes,
if you
thank you.
guys
Yeah,
want.
what are we sitting at draft wise?
Okay.
The Money Bank was all over, ups and downs for all of us. So
No, yeah. We are on the end of week 16 now.
week 16, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, so for
right.
people that don't know, we did our swap before Money in the Bank. Our next swap's at Survivor Series, and our last event is we end at Chamber, because we're always going to draft right before WrestleMania. So that's what will happen right now. So yeah, what are we sitting at right now?
Okay. I am at 253 normal points with 199 bonus points.
Okay.
Travis is at 258 normal
Oh,
points
overtook you in the regular points. I like that.
with 92 bonus points.
Fucking Cody and your main event bonus points. God damn, Cody Rhodes. My favorite wrestler, striking me back. Favorite WWE wrestler.
And then David is at 150 normal points with
For shame.
108 bonus points.
100 bonus. Okay, you got more bonus than me. Yeah, you had a tough first half of the year, so maybe the back half will be better to you.
I was
then,
looking
you
back.
know?
I'd completely forgotten you'd swapped out KO. Like that would have been a good one.
Yeah,
I
now he
wasn't
wants
paying
to-
attention. I should have stolen that. I should have stolen KO because I wanted him, but I guess I didn't realize.
Yeah, me too. When I saw main event, I'm like, yeah, none of us have Ken O now, which was odd. But you know what? I'm so happy. S-Bubs tried to talk me into giving him Tiffany. I was so happy when she climbed that ladder. I was like, thank goodness, because I know there's still other points and there's still been a good trade, but I was like, no, I want that cash and stuff. Hopefully, have a pay-per-view and everything. But no, I was very happy when I saw her get that ladder. I was like, okay, I made the right choice there, and shout out to Chelsea for taking that fucking bump off there. So. Well, we'll be back right after SummerSlam to review that show. Promise you it will not be boring. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining. And yeah, anything in our wrestling Discord, the link will be down below. Hit us up there, and we'll be back for SummerSlam and see where it swings point-wise and who comes back and what happens. Everyone have a good one.
Bye.